Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy Podcast, episode 411 for the week of July 23rd, 2019. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Scott Shea.
Oh, there it is.
And Kevin.
We're expecting Toby at some point.
Yes.
On Toby time.
I was hesitant to use the "and" because I might not be the last person.
This podcast is going to go at a regular pace for a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Toby to come in and start just going
screaming
nuts about
Like
San
the
Diego
rail,
Comic-Con.
like we don't have rails anymore.
Well, having now spent significant portions of multiple days with Toby, staying in a room with him, and
you stayed with Toby?
he stayed with me.
Oh,
yeah, and having to.
Could he really not find a room?
I don't know. Kevin stayed like a half an hour out or something like that.
I had a room across the street that I evenally gave up.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Don't tell Toby.
it was like $250 a night.
Don't tell Toby
when I got it.
Why
am I
for
fool?
giving that up?
Was that a good deal?
You're giving it to me.
I thought it was expensive.
It was a fair deal.
I
It wasn't a deal, but it wasn't a rip-off.
I was
It was across the street.
I was
at
$100
the Marriott
more
across the street.
I was $100 more and 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
Get the fricker out.
Yeah, $350. I was like, $350. That's
Keeping
a
it
steal.
clean, man.
It's great that we communicate. That's what we're learning here.
Well,
Anyway.
San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, but going back to Toby really quick, yes, now having spent a significant amount of time with him, yes, Toby time is definitely like, he'll roll up here in like 45 minutes just cut.
Maybe
he'll
he'll get back to laying on the ground again in the shop before he comes.
He's
on
so
the
tired, he
podcast.
might. So we're going to cover Comic-Con, kind of day at a time. Me and Kevin were there. Toby was there. Some of the listeners and friends were there.
I cried at home because I couldn't go. Tears.
It was a pretty special comic convention. We
50th anniversary.
It was our 50th anniversary. We also want to talk about some of the things that were announced there. So we're going to kind of go day by day.
And cosplayers?
And cover stuff.
Is there a lot of cosplayers?
The only cosplay photos that I took. Was
cosplay photos?
I took of someone.
With you?
I sent our friend Raphael a picture of someone who was dressed up as the Kingdom Come Wonder Woman.
Oh, so
with the metal kind of wings.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Yeah.
The best costume I've seen, my friend Starflower. That's her Instagram name.
Sure.
She has a Galactus costume that is super sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's my favorite one.
Well, they don't they keep the cosplayers in a specific area, or
no? They walk everywhere. I mean, they do like a lot of the photo shoots in certain areas.
Yeah,
and they have their big cosplay like group shots. But yeah, for the most part, they're all in one area. For the most part, they just wander wherever they want to go. So I was in there Wednesday, didn't do preview night. Toby was there. He picked up a shitload of stuff preview night. Again, if he rolls in, we'll hear about preview night from him.
Did you Hall H it for the big Marvel thing?
Fuck no.
Are you kidding me? This guy, we saw the people the night, whatever night that was.
So Friday morning, the Saturday, it was Friday morning we walked by.
Yeah.
The Saturday line was starting.
Fuck that shit.
That's like kind of a waste of your time at a convention if you're just sitting in line.
If you want to go to Hall H, that's how you go.
Or you just wait 10 seconds and everything that they say is on Twitter.
On the video. Yeah, exactly.
You just don't record this and send this out, and then it's on Twitter like
immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I was seeing Hall H.
I think before the sound makes it to the
weekend.
back of the room, it's
already
Twitter.
on. So Thursday, Kevin, you got there. You were already there, right? You rolled in Wednesday night, or you rolled in? Yeah. So
I didn't do preview night, though.
Right.
Toby went shopping on preview night.
Oh,
I went to Toby.
hear about this.
Toby was switching hotels. You got to tell me what level of detail we're going into here. I went over to meet Toby and help him carry his luggage from one hotel to another.
That was
his
a mistake.
first room was literally full of all the stuff he bought.
Oh, there's the ding ding. Toby's
Okay,
here.
I believe Toby's arrived. Hold this thought for 5 seconds.
Is that you, Tobias?
No, there's no
he's
sounds
sneaking in.
coming out.
but he definitely.
Somebody's actually like breaking in the back.
Definitely, Toby. I picked up quite a bit of stuff.
So you had to move his luggage.
No, I didn't have to. I just went over to help. He was staying at a hotel Wednesday night and then switching hotels.
Why did he have so much stuff? Did he
'Cause he's
really buy that
preview
much
night.
stuff?
Preview night, when you can get all the exclusives.
That's a good night to go to get stuff.
So I
don't know these things.
I
Never been.
had like 3/4 of my mid-size suitcase full, and I said, you know what? I'm going to put my I'm going to put my mid-sized suitcase in my large suitcase.
I can attest to that. He did it right in front of me.
Because you know how they have like the stackable suitcase? They're a little nesting doll, right? With, like a little big.
So you put your little suitcase in your big suitcase.
I put like the mid-size. I put the mid-size in the large and checked it as one carry-on, right? Because I figured.
Oh, you carried it on?
No. I checked it.
Oh, you checked it as a check
instead
bag.
Instead of a carry-on, right? No carry-on. I did the.
You fly Southwest?
Yeah.
Free luggage?
Yeah.
That's good.
I did medium and large, and so I figured if I don't fill it, Toby's going to be able to use my suitcase on the way back. Sure enough, that and more.
You filled it?
No, Toby.
Toby filled yours?
I came back with my one suitcase. Yeah, I mean there was stuff in it. It was
What did
fuller.
you get?
What did I get?
Well, yeah, you said you filled your suitcase.
We'll cover this as we go through the day.
So
Thursday.
where do we leave off? Oh, yes.
The beginning.
So we
Thursday.
switched hotels,
Yeah.
and then we're walking to the con, and this is maybe 10:30 in the morning now. I wasn't in a hurry to get there
Seriously,
at opening.
somebody in the back room? Like, what?
It's Toby. He's just hanging. He probably went to the bathroom.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Switch hotels.
So, Toby, we come to the Amazon
Yeah.
Plaza.
Right.
I guess is what
they
we
had
call
the Carnival Row thing.
They had
and-
Carnival Row, the boys, and the Expanse. And Toby wants to do that. There's a huge line around the sidewalk,
This
around
is
the
like
block.
Thursday morning.
Yeah, so I left him there at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, you messaged me at like 10 in the morning.
I said, I said, I'm not standing in this line. Left Toby there in line. I next saw him, I believe, at 5 p.m. that night.
He was still in line.
Well,
Or he had
because
just
once
gotten
you
out.
get in, there are separate lines for each individual
thing.
land
Right,
or whatever you
right.
want to call it. So it's line after line after line.
Yeah.
So Thursday was mainly, I mean, he's coming here, but mainly for me was just catching up on all the, trying to catch people with it, where you exchange a message, hey, see you at SDCC. And then trying to make all that happen.
Did you get anything? Did you pick up anything Thursday? Or
I don't. I think Thursday was because I'm really hate carrying stuff like big books and art prints around the show floor. So it's mainly just when I go to a con, my MO is I walk the whole floor just to see the lay of the land, see what booths are where I might want to go back to, but I don't really stop at any of them.
See what's going on.
My first San Diego Comic-Con, I think I was telling Toby this, true story, my first Comic-Con when my eyes are bulging out of my head like a Tex Avery cartoon, I was in the door for literally 5 minutes, and I bought an entire run of the DC Super Friends comic from the 70s, which is about 50 issues, which I then had to carry around the show floor. That's like 2 feet of comics if you stack it up. Never again. Never again.
So you wised up.
Yeah. I'll do all my... Unless there's some specific issue you absolutely have to have right then, I would get it on the last day. So anyway.
I got in Thursday kind of afternoon and ended up going... Yeah, it's a good cover. I went in Thursday afternoon and I flew in, got in about 3:30, ended up going and picking up my badge and hitting the show floor for just a few minutes. The DC Universe panel, the DC Universe booth, which is a streaming service, they were giving out some of the prints. Basically, if you went every day, they had a print you could get if you checked in. And they had a thing they announced previous to the convention that if you subscribe for a year at the convention, you got 4 free variant covers from DC Comics. One was a reprint of Swamp Thing. I think it was 26 or 27. I can't remember which issue it is. It's the Alan Moore issue with the Swamp Thing photo cover. Had an issue of was it Hush with the new Jim Lee cover? I can't remember what the Batman one
608.
was. I think it was 608. I think so. So there was a couple of these that would have Doom Patrol 19, the Grant Morrison issue. So they would have these photo covers. And I went to the booth, I got my poster, and I'm like, so I'm a member, I want to sign up for the year subscription and get the comics. And they're like, you can't. You're already a member. And I'm like, well, how do I... They're like, well, you can create a new account. I'm like, huh?
Hold on, let me cancel my account, and then I'll become a
But
member.
I still have, 3 or 4 months on the account still, because it started, it went live whenever, it was September, and then it went through December. It goes through December of
because
this
they
year.
added 3 months.
Right, they added 3. Well, yeah, they added 3 additional months. So, and whenever the service went live. So I was like, well, what do I do? They're like, well, we could find a manager, but I'm not really sure. So I was like, whatever, I'll come back later. So I figured this all out. We'll get back to that when we get to it in a few later days. So when Toby's done whatever he's doing, he can come over and tell us about preview night and Thursday. But Thursday,
he's doing what he normally does. He's laying on the ground in the back. He's recovering. He had to make the trip in.
No, he's doing his cherry picking.
Thursday night, the three of us went to the Skybound panel, which is for retailers, which is Robert Kirkman's company within Image Comics. Ran into Joshua Williamson there, which is super cool. He came over and said hi for a minute, so that was really neat to see him.
And I just want to interject here. This is Thursday night.
Yeah.
This is night 1 of open bar. And we'll come back to that later. But this is ground zero of open bar.
A lot of free food at this thing if you're on the company end. Let's just
Kevin. Let's just put it this way: Kevin and Ryan, while mentally maybe they've recovered a little bit.
I was tired yesterday.
Physically, they still look a little worn down.
Sunday, I was
guys.
I was dead.
What are you talking about? Yesterday, all day yesterday, Ryan's going, I just want to go back to Comic-Con.
I just want to go to bed.
He does not want to go back to
So
Comic-Con.
Skybound.
So we did the Skybound panel. We did the Skybound thing. That was cool. I mean, they talk about stuff you're not really supposed to talk about. So a couple things leaked and blah, blah, blah. I can't get into some of it. So no big deal, whatever. But we got some cool
Let's
swag.
Just say I heard the story, and there's some guy, Anthony, that messed it up for everybody.
Fuck that guy.
We got some cool swag. Got some signed comics, some Walking Dead comics from Robert Kirkman. Got to shake his hand and say hi for 2 seconds and get some autographs. And
you got a picture with him finally?
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff coming from Skybound outside of what Kirkman's working on. He's got other books coming out, but there's other things happening that they got a lot of books in the works. So and it's fun at these retailer things too because they're a little more candid than they maybe would be publicly, you know, without a PR guy standing right next to them. When it's your when you own the company, you can kind of say whatever you want. Kirkman doesn't have to kind of watch.
The thing is, it's you sent me to an Image Expo years and years ago, and one of those. It's like there's the public side of it, and then later on in the evening, there's the kind of retailer /
it's a little
creator,
different.
and you get to mingle and talk and chat, and it's a lot, like you said, more candid.
Yeah. Thursday was just sort of we did that. What did we end up doing?
Well, that was the meetup.
Oh, that's right. So the Hyatt Bar. So this is what it turns out happened. The Hyatt Bar is the big meeting place at Comic-Con. The Hyatt Bar is under construction, which means every other bar in in every surrounding hotel was suddenly a lot busier.
Yeah.
Where these guys had said last year, there's nobody there and tons of room. We get there and it's fucking jamming.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's packed, and we're like, oh shit. Kevin pulls him out of the crowd, catches Chris Arendt from one of the
Newsarama.
head editor at Newsarama, and he's like, "Hey, isn't that Chris?" And we've talked online, and you know him.
I'm in his press group, but but he's by himself at the table,
a fairly large table. Yeah. So we roll over, and we had a few people had started to meet up. Only a couple people ended up finding us. At least one other person reached out and said, "I went there, but I couldn't find anyone because it was so busy. I didn't know where anyone was. It wasn't just there's a group of people hanging out, and that was it. The place was packed.
We didn't have a sign that said Comics Conspiracy.
Yeah.
But Chris Arendt ended up being a bonus member of the Comics Conspiracy meetup. And he was there the whole time.
From Newsarama. And now who else? Who showed up?
And we ended up. Just a couple of the regulars. Toby.
Snap fingers
at the meetup.
Dennis,
that's his name. Because I hadn't met him before, but he had said, and he had sent the print, and then another guy from the store. So,
nice.
And then, like I said, the other guy tried to meet us, and a few people messaged me.
Craig
and said,
P. Anderson, was he trying to help people be better?
He wasn't there this
Craig
year.
wasn't there this
What?
year.
He took this year off.
Yeah.
He'll be back next year with a vengeance.
He was at home making people better.
And I think next year he's trying to get Bryce to go.
Oh Jesus, I don't know. I don't know if I can deal with that. I don't think I could survive that. Could I survive Craig, Bryce, and Toby? That's asking for trouble. And we just did that.
Craig Bryce.
Okay, so that was not open bar, but that was bar visit number 2
and
in the same
night. And we ended up running into Chris everywhere, constantly.
Yeah.
Ryan
and I saw Chris. It was as if the three of us had some homing beacon.
We're the only. There's 500,000 people. We're the only people that exist, and we just kept running into him everywhere we went.
Every day, multiple times.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. Yeah, it's really, really strange.
that was about it for Thursday, I think.
Yeah. Nothing really special for Thursday. Toby, do you want to jump on and do your preview night on Thursday?
So
Toby's finishing up whatever.
So Thursday
he's doing.
at the con was a bunch of panel-wise was Terminator thing was there. Tom Cruise had come for Top Gun Maverick.
Was that Thursday?
That was all on Thursday.
So this is the problem with being at Comic-Con. I have the slightest idea what happened.
Well, even me being on the internet and going, what's coming out? I mean, not much is coming out as it's going, but
the big stuff, like when the MCU stuff happened, we were kind of done with the con, and I was looking at Twitter, so I was following along with that. But all the rest of the weekend, I'm like, oh, what happened? I have no clue. I'll find out when I get home.
Yeah, they seem to do a lot of the movie and TV, some of the TV stuff on Thursday, because I think Thursday was also The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they just show
Thursday.
The season 10 trailer or something.
They showed the trailer, and then what's her name that plays Michonne?
Yeah,
it's going to be her last season.
Is Guerrera? Is that her name? Denai Guerrera, is that how you pronounce her name? Friday was the retailer panel.
The brunch.
Well,
the DC Universe.
Oh, it was the DC Universe brunch, and then the retailer thing.
Yes.
So there was a very weird event that happened where myself, Kevin, and Toby went to the DC Universe brunch, which was on a yacht out behind the convention center with people were going to be there. We didn't know anything about this. Now, Toby had got an email. I got a separate email. Kevin got no email. Didn't even know if
I got the other one.
You got the first email.
They sent one out to or I don't know to whom, saying, are you going to be at SDCC? And you just check yes or no.
Yeah.
And reply. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So Kevin thinks, I can't go to this. I didn't fill out this form. He ended up being the only one that actually was on the list.
There's a long line of people to get on this yacht, and there's people with clipboards with checking names and photo IDs.
Yeah.
So as we're getting closer, I'm thinking, well, I'm obviously not going to get on this, so I'm going to go to this panel I want to see, and I'll see you guys for lunch. And we get up to the front, just roll the dice, say my name. They're like, oh, yeah, you're right here. And it's like a pre-printed DC Universe ticket with your name printed on it above the DC logo.
So Kevin Sharp is in.
Yes. I don't mean handwritten. I mean like a
printed
ticket.
Yeah.
You have a golden ticket.
Yes.
You and Charlie.
Yes.
So Toby's on the list, but no card. I'm not on the list. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? It ended up they had me down just as my email. They didn't have my name on it, and they couldn't find me.
So Ryan at comicsconspiracy.biz.
Right. But there was no ticket for me or anything like that. So they're looking down the list, and they're like the store, and I'm telling them my name. And there was another guy having the same problem. We were both standing there, we did the thing. I just don't know what's going on. But they eventually found me, and they're like,
so you had to previously sign up to do this brunch thing?
You had to say that you were going to Comic-Con. Now, me and Toby filled out a whole other form. Kevin didn't. He's on there. Toby's half on there, and I'm not on there. It's very confusing.
Somebody in DC is like, this Kevin Sharp guy is definitely going to this party.
Attention, do not let Higgins on that boat.
We thought there was another person named Kevin Sharp that was going to be 5 people back, right? And
who the fuck took my ticket?
And they're like,
Kevin Sharp's
what's your name?
Yes, thank you.
Kevin Sharp. And they're like, well, you already checked in.
But the question is, are you that Kevin Sharp?
Not only was he in, he had a fully...
Yeah. It was official.
Are you jealous of his little printed thing?
I kind of was, actually, because
we didn't get
I checked in and they were like, yeah, you're not on, but it's okay. I'm like, fuck it. If it's okay, I'm walking in.
Yeah.
So you walked in,
and
then Ryan gets
because
stuck.
The minute they say it's okay, you don't question it.
You just
start
go.
Walking, right? Don't let them have a chance to say no. So I get downstairs and they're looking for my name and they're like, you're not in here. I'm like, well, they let me in. I'm obviously part of this list. And then my last name is Sidler, his is Sharp, and so he goes through the S's. I'm like, Sharp, Kevin. The fuck? So I'm trying to yell at Kevin. They don't hear me. I'm underneath by the boat thing already.
Yeah.
They're still up on the pier. I'm like, Kevin, your fucking name is on here, just in case he needed something else to get in.
Because it's kind of letting a few people on at a time.
And so obviously he had no issue, and this is the guy I'm not getting in. There's no way this is going to work.
And Kevin's in.
Yeah.
So weird. So it says some free food.
Well, we got
more free food.
We got the Jim Lee prints.
Jim Lee was there in the fucking boiling sun.
Oh, wait.
It was 100 degrees.
Even before Jim Lee in the sun, this is open bar number 2. We get on. The first question is, Would you like a blueberry margarita? This is now like 10 a.m.
Oh no!
This is
5 o'clock somewhere.
No, it was 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah, 9:30.
See, I'm a terrible day drinker.
There is this. This was as strong.
I said, "Hit me."
It was like sugar.
This was as strong as the drinks at Disneyland, as Star Wars Disneyland.
Oh, so it's like
the
you could give these to 10-year-olds.
the legal.
It's
minimum,
open bar, but it's
I didn't
Utah
think there
open
was
bar.
alcohol in there at all.
I know.
It was just sugar.
Yeah, the legal minimum amount to call something an alcoholic
it's
beverage.
Utah. It's Utah alcohol.
Yeah, there
level.
was no
So
alcohol
that
in that thing.
memento probably
Okay.
has the same alcohol.
Can I say
content.
there's a running theme of complaining going on here? So you know how many
I feel
times,
like these guys are loving this.
dude, these guys are complaining left and right about shit. Oh my god, we get on the fucking boat. Oh, I can't get on. We're on the boat. All right, now it's too fucking hot.
It was really
the sun
goddamn
is
hot.
shining in my face. I can't take the
Did
sun.
you guys wear a hat?
I was boiling.
Well, so that morning
gotta-
at
San
8
Diego, you
a.m.
gotta wear
No,
a
but
hat.
listen, that morning at 8 a.m. it is gray,
Cold.
it is breezy.
It's overcast.
You could have a jacket and be comfortable. While we're in line, Jim Lee is up there with a jacket himself,
The sun
signing.
comes out.
At 9:30, it is freezing. At 9:32, it is 100 degrees.
Bullshit. It's not freezing.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
say
called,
freezing.
It's called the June gloom or July gloom. And it's probably about 71.
Dude, I've never heard so much complaining. They're like in line to get like something signed by Jim Lee for free, and oh man, I don't know about this line. It's so hot. Oh, the sun is shining at me.
Do you see?
Okay,
Do you see how pasty his complexion?
Ryan
Toby.
is a freaking vampire. So
Look at his fucking complexion.
I understand.
He puts his sunglasses to
look at him.
to
He's still
throw
like,
a bug
he's still
out
a
of the
nice
store.
shiny red right
White
now.
people are different, Toby. We get those people behind us, that guy and girl behind us, they were like kind of dressed up, and they were like,
I did not complain like you guys.
Anyway,
Nobody complains.
They were not having a good
Anyway, they had a pretty sweet swag bag of DC Universe stuff.
Yeah.
They had a really good buffet,
What was in the bag?
a towel,
Yeah, they
like
had
a beach towel,
a bunch
Put
of,
that on your head. So
a portable fan,
Yeah, that was
check
great.
again.
a USB charger, like a phone
To
charger,
charge your fan. Check
a
again.
tumbler. Was
Yeah.
it like a
Yeah, right.
little
You gave me
metal
the tumbler.
For your
Sunglasses.
drink.
Some sunglasses.
Okay, check. Stop complaining. Put the towel on your head.
and a
Put the
print
fan
version.
on.
Put the sunblock on your fucking face.
Yeah, they
You
had
could have
sunblock.
dipped the
and-
towel in the water, wrung it out a
See,
little.
you guys just don't understand about going outside. You got a sunscreen up before you leave.
I did.
if you're a whitey.
Actually, to be fair, Ryan did.
Okay.
I'm like
that's good.
SPF 70, like
I walked by
head
the
to toe.
bathroom,
All right,
like,
all right,
what
all
are you
right.
doing in there? I'm putting on. Okay, if that's
I would
what it
be.
is.
Yeah.
I would be.
You didn't say
I
what
would
he was
be
putting
crisped
sunscreen on.
if I didn't put sunblock on. I would have died.
So yeah, this is Friday morning.
Yeah,
we're on right
yeah.
now. I'm just checking the
This-
time.
Jim, they
I
eventually
love
bring
hearing
out
the stories.
They
I
eventually
want to
Doing
hear the
this Charlie
stories.
style. I see,
Yeah,
huh?
they
Okay.
eventually
Alright,
bring
yeah,
out Jim Lee like a tarp to sit under because
Yeah.
it got so fucking hot out
Well, Jim
there.
Lee is also in a jacket.
He was
for
in a
some
jacket
reason.
facing
Got
the
so
sun.
hot. It was like 88.
No, it got
Dude,
very
you're on the
hot
water,
very
man.
fast.
Oh, you guys are just
got
soft.
very hot very
I was in
fast.
frickin' Tampa Bay for 2 weeks when it was
You're also a
heat
swim-
index
you're also
of like
a swim
106.
guy.
That's
Like-
not it. They also couldn't walk. Every time we had to go somewhere, let's take an Uber. Let's take an Uber. I'm like,
Oh, wait a minute! Don't
Yeah.
lump me in on this.
Oh, I
Hold
am.
on.
Oh, I am. You surely tread on his
Well,
Uber.
Toby-
multiple
Yes.
Number one.
But I didn't order it.
Toby.
Number
I'm
one,
Mr. Uber.
in San Diego, there's like a million of those Lime scooters. So just get on one of the
We
scooters and
actually
take them.
tried.
Yeah, we did try. Actually.
Like we were having some issues with
Yeah,
it.
it did not work.
We I know the only time I ever Ubered was back from the con to the hotel at the end, and most of the time I ended up walking. And, well, I mean when I took the
Toby has such a disapproving
it.
look on his
Oh,
face.
sure. After Eisner's and before Eisner's and
when we were like in like suit and
Yeah,
dress shoes
yeah,
and
yeah.
top.
Yeah, I
hat and
only
everything.
Ubered this one time.
Me and Kevin hung out
Outside
with
of
the
this other
Eisners.
400 times.
We hung out for a half an hour waiting for Toby.
Jim Lee gets a tarp
Jim
Friday
Lee gets a
night.
tarp, yeah.
Friday
No, it's morning.
We're not even to
Friday
10 a.m.,
morning.
Scott.
All right.
We're not even to 10 a.m.
No, well, by the time the tarp came out, it was probably at least.
Oh, it's probably 10:30. Yeah.
So we
10:30 to
we take off from that retailer meeting. This is the Diamond Comics retailer meeting.
Okay, timeline.
Okay, hold on.
So
I want to say.
I
want to
left
say.
the brunch and went to. There was
Oh, you
something
went
at
to
the
that.
con called
Yeah.
that 70s panel,
That's right.
which had a bunch of Bronze Age creators.
Ooh.
So I left them on the
was
boat
on
and
it?
went to that. Like Tony Isabella, Mike Friedrich, Arvil Jones, Mark Evanier. There was like 4 or 5 more people. It was
Okay.
a big panel.
Yeah.
Then we reconvened at the lunch.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So you had free brunch?
I ate, hung out for a little while.
At the Kevin Sharp ticketed brunch?
Yes.
With Jim Lee.
Officially ticketed. So we all left the boat with Jim Lee prints.
Oh, I
these
thought you said
Batman
with
prints.
Jim Lee.
Signed and everything like
We
that.
all left the boat with Jim Lee
Yes.
prints.
So at the retailer panel, they had Marvel, DC. They announced a bunch of big stuff. You can look; a bunch of the stuff got announced online. The Mary Jane comic coming out from Marvel. I think the big one. They brought Scott Snyder and Charles Soule out for Undiscovered Country,
Can't wait for that book.
the new Image title coming out. And Gillespie as Capullo.
Wait, Scott Snyder just sells the book, man. It's He just needs to talk about it. I'm in.
Common Coley, I believe. I'm terrible at pronouncing his last name, but yeah. It was a pretty cool idea. Basically, America puts up borders around its entire wall, like blackout, huge walls.
It isolates itself from the entire world.
Yeah, for 30 years, and then it opens back up its borders and says, "Hey, send in some people. Maybe we'll rejoin the world." And a group of people from outside of the United States come in, and the United States has turned into this
Mad Max.
Land of the Lost, Mad Max, just total nightmare
The
area.
fish people.
Yeah, and so these people now trying to figure out what the hell happened in the last 30 years.
So wait, is this connected to the wake?
Maybe. I don't know. So he told a really funny story about how they went to a friend of theirs who worked for the CIA, let them go to the CIA to talk to people about how, like, these sort of, like, doomsday scenarios, like, and they're like, cool, oh, we're stealing all these and putting these in a book as well. So
So the CIA is like, yeah, you can use our contingent plans to put in Undiscovered Country because nobody's going to believe you anyway.
In case we're attacked by giant fish people or something like that. So
Seriously sounded like the wake.
Speaking of that, how many did you sign when you were there? Was the Area 51 petition out?
did that break while we were there?
No. That's a good. We're a good month and a half into the Area 51 thing.
Well,
no. Like the
becoming
known was this weekend.
Oh, I feel like I knew about it randomly.
You know a lot of stuff randomly before other people, though.
Yeah, that's just weird.
So Undiscovered Country looks really good. Easily, by far, best presenters at the thing were the people from Titan Comics from the UK. They were fucking. They had this whole like Laurel and Hardy shtick down. They were just going crazy. It was they have only had like 5
Charlie's
minutes, right?
favorite, that's for sure.
It was so funny.
Do you want to now pick up all their books?
I'm going to basically double my order on every book they do for the next
year.
They were so funny.
Oh, dude, they even sang the fucking Doctor theme song with no like.
No music.
Just did it.
They were like, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and here they go, and they were super goofy.
Everybody afterwards like, we can't follow up on that.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna show our stuff.
Here's our stuff.
Yeah, DC followed up after, and they're like, we don't know what to do next, so we're just going to do our normal presentation. I'm very sorry.
They're like, hi, here's this comic book
basically.
by these creators.
Yeah.
Here's this comic book
you
by
just
these
can't,
creators.
You can't fake that, right? The stuff they were doing was just so funny. Hopefully someone filmed that and put it online because it's very funny. Undiscovered Country.
Filmed it.
Did you film it?
They filmed it.
Yeah. Hopefully,
because he has all wishes. His grandma
his mom.
birthday.
His mom.
His mom.
Yeah. We all had to wish his mom happy birthday. That was really funny. The number one thing at the panel, though, do you guys remember what it was? What was the number one biggest cheers, biggest reaction at the panel?
Oh, the fucking box.
There you go.
Yeah, man, I'm hella excited about that shit.
Diamond Comics has new boxes.
Bottoms.
Flat bottom boxes, baby.
Oh, not to jack up all your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So for listeners, so for listeners that don't know,
big news.
Diamond boxes
of all.
basically fold like a normal like priority box,
like
you get
two small boxes,
two small
lids,
and then two closed. So what Diamond has to do is they have to put this insert to flatten it out. And sometimes it doesn't. The insert bends or it doesn't get in there, and so there's been issues. So now, apparently, there's going to be a flat bottom box. I'm just curious to see how it's going to fold flat.
I didn't know any of this.
No. I want to keep so many of those flat boxes once they come here, man. I'm like, you're not throwing that shit away, man.
This was all new to me, so I turned to Ryan. I'm like, did they literally just announce a cardboard box with a flat bottom and people cheered?
Yeah, like while he looks over to me, I'm like,
yeah. Like, what am I missing?
But they also, like, you think about it.
That's Kevin, the non-retailer.
There's like they changed the way like the outer box. There's like 2 boxes in a bigger box is how comics are shipped, and the outer box will get like crushed because they don't always fill the boxes 100%. So
the weight distribution's all weird, and they improve the outside box by giving it
Kevin and I are sitting at the table going
extra oomph on the spine, like the sides.
Scott, think of it this way: the boxes people ship your comics in now on eBay are going to be in a lot better condition because they're going to be these new boxes from comic stores.
I don't really buy new comics.
What I mean is when you buy something on eBay from a store, these are the boxes they're going to be using. They're going to be hella sturdier, more sturdy,
hella sturdier
than what the boxes are using now.
Because Diamond has to combat UPS and FedEx.
Yeah,
especially
shipping.
the ones that throw at a fence.
Well, they
on their boxes,
and the outer boxes just have like this like crush factor. When you put a certain amount of weight, they just sort of crush down if the boxes aren't full.
We've had this problem with the pallets.
Oh, everyone has, yeah. You get like 2,000 pounds of comics stacked on top of each other. Those bottom boxes are not looking pretty. They said the bottom weight can hold like 3,500 pounds, I think, 3,600 pounds, something like that.
Put that to test. We're going to put a bunch of boxes on top of each other and stand on top.
That's the idea, right? That they're a lot more sturdy, and it'll take a significant amount to crush those boxes.
It is still depressing.
We're at the store. We're going, we need to reach that light. All right, just line up a couple of diamond boxes. Everybody else walking through the store, what the fuck you guys doing?
But yes, it is depressing that's what we're excited about talking about.
Boxes are a big deal.
Hey. 3 out of 5 people at this table are pumped. And
that crowd cheered in that room.
And the other 2 are going to get the benefits from it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to see how they fold down, because hopefully they fold flat.
Yep.
I want to keep them.
What else happened Friday?
Well, so we left the retailer. That was Batman print number 2 of the day.
Oh, yep.
The Liber Mayo. There was a Liber Mayo print.
Yep.
So Jim Lee in the morning.
Liber Mayo?
Cue Kevin complaining once more. He comes out of it, and he goes, I love this. But God damn it! Fuck! And I was like, what's wrong?
Okay.
I don't want to hold this print.
Now, Toby.
No, wait. I need to add some context to this.
By now, hold on. Toby has provided me with his invention. Toby invented something.
Yeah, it's a tube.
Toby invented a tube
that I cut. So he fits into the backpack.
Toby's like, look at this invention. And he hands me a plastic tube.
So it's the perfect size for an art print.
Yeah, to roll it up and stick in it.
Kevin, quote unquote, complaining, God damn it, etc., was not, I don't like it, I don't want it. It was, I am afraid to walk around the con floor because I didn't have a tube. Because theirs were full.
No, didn't you put it? Did we put it?
Did we fit it in?
I think we did.
I don't feel yours? Like you invented that.
I think you walked around with it.
In fact, I know you didn't invent it because all the couriers that ride around in San Francisco, New York, have these
architects have these like slung across.
Yes, those are the ones that walk around with the tube on them. Mine is cut perfectly. So it fits all the prints are, to a certain size, and I have it inside flush in the backpack, so there's nothing sticking out.
And the print can fit like a movie poster could fit in that?
No. Then I have to be like one of those douchebags with the fucking giant ass fucking things.
So all you're saying is Toby just cut something down to fit in his backpack.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. But Toby was very happy.
Number one,
with
he cut something.
Hey man, do you know how many stuff that saved, dude? To save your prints,
all my prints,
my prints, they all came back home safely because.
So these prints are about 18 inches by.
Like 18 by 36 or something like that.
She
told me that.
18 I don't think not 36.
18 by 32, 18 by 32 or something.
18.
Like the small ones.
Christ.
If it's 18 wide, 32 tall, I think.
No, I'm thinking 18 tall.
Oh, now, do you get these things signed?
Well, the Jim Lee we did because he was there. The Bermejo was just you got it on your way out the door.
Dude, the Bermejo was a pretty nice.
Every time we talk about Bermejo, I think his name is Liber Mayo.
Liber
Mayo.
Mayo.
Liber first name, Mayo last name. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Bermejo.
You just have to be prepared.
Yeah, and Toby was saved all my prints.
I admit, because I don't really buy prints at cons, I was not prepared.
Also, on the first day you guys didn't see me, I brought the big tube because I got the Jim Lee Hush Mondo print.
Yeah.
Which is a priority.
Yeah,
that line took forever.
Of course.
What's forever?
Friday?
Give me an hours.
So this is now.
There's this award ceremony.
Oh, that's Friday night.
This is maybe like we're done with that thing like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, to be just.
Well, you had to go home. You had to go back. You guys left.
Did they left to go take a nap and get dressed?
No, he didn't actually get any naps.
Oh, we dropped all our stuff off and went to Nintendo. That's what it was.
Oh, is that the picture you showed me with that?
Yeah.
So we went over and did the Nintendo thing at was that the Hilton? Is that where that was?
It was in the hotel next to it.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome though.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I like the Zelda displays or the Zelda gaming displays. It had little Zelda with made with toys. The houses and stuff.
So you guys went to Nintendo. What did you do, Ken?
I was just on the show floor.
Show floor, does that mean you're looking at the vendors?
Yeah.
You're looking at old comic books?
Or artists or
artists?
And whatever, yeah.
Did we have any artists that we know there? Was any of our guys there?
I mean, who's our
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to sound like I know somebody.
Nintendo was super cool and got to play a few of the games coming up. And if you played all the games, you could pick a prize out of their little prize pack. So yeah, it's very similar.
The keychain was the best.
Oh yeah, it's very similar to what they had at E3 for people if they saw the E3 stuff.
Friday was Alan Davis for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
you got the commission.
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
I had never met Alan Davis at a con before, and he's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went through. I got my book signed by him.
What did you get commissioned? So you got the book.
Yeah, hold on. So he's doing. You can get a commission done on a comic backing board. It's for Hero Initiative. So they have these boards prepared that are pre-stamped that say Hero Initiative on them. So he'll do a commission. I was just going in to get the book signed, and some guy in front of me or behind me, I can't remember now, got Alan Davis to draw a Batman. This is like a pencil commission, and he would maybe work on a drawing. It would take him like 10 minutes, like that kind. That Batman was so good.
You got one?
No. I showed you the picture a few minutes ago. I just went, God. For the first time in my, at least in recent convention going, I had to go to the ATM on day 2 of the con.
Don't even bring cash. Oh, I guess commissions. Cash. Yeah.
So I had to then get back in line. And so I'm thinking, what do I want him to draw? And we had talked about a few weeks ago on here the Neal, which is just awesome.
Right.
So when Alan Davis was signing the book, he goes, I've got to fit in my signature next to Archie Goodwin, because Archie Goodwin's the guy who got me into DC Comics in the first place by offering me the Neal.
So are guys when they look at the thing, are they just looking at all the other names too?
So in case people forget, Kevin has a book, History of DC Universe. We've talked about this once or twice on the podcast, but in this case, people don't remember. And starting 20 years ago with Len Wein.
1995 was the first.
Len Wein was the first one?
25 years ago. That's the story was that he never got Len to sign it.
Len helped me get all these people, but I somehow in all the chaos forgot to get Len to sign it. So it's like his spirit is in there.
Yeah. And so he's been going around the conventions now getting DC creators from the Golden Age to current to sign this book, and you're up to 95 signatures.
As of the end of this con, there's 95 signatures.
And every single time,
one very special one.
Every time he pulled this out
later today,
the people would be like, "Holy shit!" and they would want to sign near specific people. I think the best one was Mitch Gerads saying he wanted to sign
by Adam Hughes
because he said he stole Adam Hughes' signature.
Oh,
he's
really?
a very simple. It's like
that's funny.
So it was like Alan Davis wants to be near Archie Goodwin. Tom King had to be near Murphy Anderson because that was his favorite old time artist. Yeah. So everybody's got their story.
Yeah. We'll deal with the big story later.
So anyway, I get Alan Davis to sign, and then as I'm going back through the line, I'm thinking, God, I love the Neal so much, but I don't want to get him to draw Batman just because, not because it's good, just because it's so there's so many issues of his Batman. I can look at those. So I just get up to the front and I go, Silver Age Flash. I said, give me the Silver Age version of the Flash, and he goes to work, and it was
very nice,
fantastic,
very nice,
no regrets at all. And the good news was it's on a size of board that easily fits inside the hardcover, so I was good for the whole time. So that was me doing that while they were at Nintendo.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's just for listeners. It's just a headshot. It's not the full.
I'll post a picture of it on the Facebook group.
Yeah,
because I took a picture of Alan Davis with the drawing and then the drawing as well. Anyway, so that was mine. Time while you guys were gone.
Yeah. Nintendo again. If people follow the E3 press conference, a lot of the same stuff, but very cool to go do that. Big Nintendo fan here, so obviously any chance to go see the Big N, I'm happy to go do that. Then it's Eisner's time. So we got all fancy dressed as well as we possibly could, and head over to the Eisners.
Complain about the walk there for you.
Oh, I Ubered. Yeah. Like me and Kevin Ubered, and we met Toby half an hour later when he finally rolled up. Took us like 10 minutes to get there.
Were you sweating because it was like 95 degrees outside?
It was 110 when we left. No. It actually was not. It was
not hot.
It was warm, but it was
not.
San
Diego was actually cooler than it has been most years.
It was.
Like cloudy. Well, you could wear fucking pants.
Yeah. The funny thing is San Diego and around here we had fairly decent weather, but the rest of the country was bogged down in a heat wave.
Yeah, it was
bad.
I heard enough about heat indexes.
Not as warm as it has been.
So this is where it gets glorious, because in true Ryan fashion. So he thinks one thing when reality is another thing. Well, so there's lots of confusion.
Bit of a mix-up with the eyes. Yeah. That's all right. So I got an email.
You didn't win?
Well, no. We knew we weren't going to win prior. We knew like on Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Hey, at least we were on that screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, our store logo was up at the screen when they were doing all the nomination stuff. That was cool. So for Eisner's, basically, I get an email that said, "We have your reserved seating. Go to the VIP area and they'll seat you." Right? The reserved seating. Capital R, capital S, reserved seating, and VIP are two separate areas, right? My name was on neither of those, right?
But
so I tell them
email with both of these on
right.
them.
So I show them the email and I said, "Yeah, we're on VIP." It says go to the VIP area, VIP, and they're looking. They're like, "You're a nominated store." I'm like, "Yeah, we're nominated. We're not a finalist, but we're nominated." And they're like, "We can't find it," and The people at the end were as nice as they probably could have been. That girl was no help at fucking all. I don't know. Did you hear any of that conversation? She was just like, I don't know. Go sit in the back. And I'm like, but the email, right? So she gives us these passes that say reserve seating.
Yep, they're blue.
And says, enter that door where this woman just walked out. So we enter the door where this woman just walked out, and we were in the VIP area where all the table and food. And Kevin's like, food. Beelines to the food. Right?
There's like a line of hot trays.
Before that, I roll up because, I'm the only one that walks at this fucking table. I roll up. I go and check in. The dude goes, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my dude right there.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like waving his fucking blue ticket at me, right? I'm like, that's my blue ticket. And he was so confused at that point.
Yeah.
And then Ryan asked me the blue ticket. I'm good, yeah. Showing him the reserved seating.
I'm good, yeah.
And I started walking. And he was like, what is happening?
But
so once again, Toby just pretends like he knows exactly where he's supposed to be.
To paint the picture, the VIP area is like a dinner party. It's like round tables that you'd be at like a conference.
Like at a wedding, like with numbers on it.
And then there's like
a movie. There's like a movie theater, like that.
And then there's like 1,000 seats,
like rows of folding chairs.
Where all the nobles are. Yeah.
No, it's like it's stage, award table stuff, right?
Yes.
And then everything in the back.
And
it's just so weird.
Okay, no, a bar and then the line,
right,
and then everything else.
So they literally, we were in there like, well, what do we do? And then like.
So I'm piling this plate up with food while Ryan's looking around.
Wait, so you're in the VIP area now?
We're all in the VIP area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess let's get in line, get a drink, let's find a seat.
the line and just walk straight through?
You didn't have to. There were different doors.
We were in the VIP area, and they said go through that door. So we went through that door, and we're at the tables, and we're like, do we just take a seat? Like, I don't know what to do because it's reserved seating, right? So we end up, then like a guy comes in, and he just fucking beelines straight to us, and he's like, hey guys, I think there's some confusion. Let's go back out and try to figure this out.
Oh, you got all food.
So he was like, you guys are coming with us. Like, go back to the line.
Like, no. We're good here.
Like, my plate is half piled, and I see these guys like walking out.
Yeah. So we We go back out, and we're put in front of the same lady who was no fucking help. And I said, this is the same lady, and she told us to go in there. And they're like, all right. And they said, well, okay, you have those reserve seating passes. They said, there's reserve seating, the actual seats that are on the other side of the rope, just go take one of those seats.
So has Kevin eaten at this point?
No.
Oh,
no, because the only utensils were on the tables, so I couldn't start eating.
Yeah. So
come on. So you could have just shoved your face in that.
So he just puts down his plate full of food just down somewhere.
On someone's table. So we end up going to sit on the seats, and we're sitting right in front of the bar, a bar with 100 people lining in front of it. And so we're staring at people standing in line at a bar while the Eisners start. And I'm just like, well, fuck this. I got an email that says I'm supposed to be up there. What the hell's going on?
At this point, Ryan does what Ryan does. Then I going on Twitter going, fuck this.
Then I read the email a little bit more closely and realized what the problem was.
After he Twittered it.
Well, no.
Did you tweet this stuff out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But there was the email was
there was a picture of Chip Zdarsky too. At some point,
the email was confused because it does say both go into the VIP area.
Technically, if you think about it, actually. In hindsight,
did you put a meme on it?
Okay, so wait, hold on.
In hindsight, it's actually correct, right? No. You go to the VIP section, and they will seat you. The only problem is they never seated you correctly.
No, we were not supposed to go.
No, you don't understand. You go to VIP area, which is exactly what it did. The guy actually did seat us in the reserved seating. They just, whoever checked you in originally didn't do that.
We were supposed to go into that area. We were not supposed to go into the VIP area.
Yeah,
though.
but they would just go right there.
Well, we were supposed to go to that guy that was like the doorman and say, we have reserved seating. And he says, you are the front row, please sit there.
Yeah.
That's what was supposed to happen.
That didn't
we
happen.
said, we have VIP seating, and they got us through security.
Yeah. Well,
and we're standing at VIP.
Well, what's even funny is we left our badges at the hotel.
Yeah.
So I go through the first set of security, which is just security guards. They go, credentials? I'm like, oh, fucking have credentials? You want to see my driver license? And he just kind of stared at me. I'm like, I got to go right there.
Yeah.
He goes, what? And I just started walking.
So, wait, there's two more things to add to this before we get to the actual Eisners, which to me is a highlight of the weekend.
Yeah.
I looked sitting next to, so I'm sitting all the way, just to illustrate this, I'm the furthest right in this row we're sitting in. Sitting next to me are...
two random dudes walk in that we don't know.
And sit down
right
next to
us,
me.
Right. I see them walk in, but I don't pay any attention.
And it's
right?
Fabio Moon and Gabriel Ba from Day Tripper.
What?
Yeah.
And they're sitting in the chump section next to me.
You're like, what are you guys doing?
And of course, Chris Arendt
is at the judge's table, which is like maybe 20 feet up.
No, he's the table in front of us. So again, this is like the third time we've seen him.
So Chris Arendt comes walking straight over towards us, goes to them and goes, hey, I feel terrible about you guys having to sit back here. Come join our table. To them. And took them away. Which he should have over us, of course. But then the next part was this older dude comes in, and he comes up to me, and he goes,
are you
a retailer? And I said, yeah. He goes, oh, are you nominated? Or he goes, are you a retailer? I said, yes. He goes, well, the retailer award was started in my name. And so I come every year to honor it. And I want to give you some drink coupons, free drinks at the bar. He goes, you're nominated for the Spirit of Retailing Award, right? Yeah. And I couldn't remember the name of what it was. So I turned to Ryan and I go, is it the Spirit of Retailing Award? And Ryan gets up and starts telling that whole story again.
Because I don't know.
And this dude's just like, I'm just trying to give you free drinks.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Right? No, not complaining.
No.
Can I also add, by the way,
not complaining. Hold on.
Yeah.
The ultimate insult. They lost our reservation and kicked us to the plebe seats. The Eisners must read my Twitter account. This is straight from Ryan's Twitter feed. I am reading it. I'm not complaining.
This is a Craig P. Anderson at CraigPAndersson.com joke.
Right? He didn't physically, right? All what happened was he sat down and his head went down and his fingers went click, picture.
Craig said I didn't win because the Eisners read my Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably fair.
Yeah, that's probably fair. And
So
then
that's what that joke
free
was.
drink ticket, all's good now.
Yeah, so this dude rolls up, and I think he's going to give us these drink tickets in, like... Because I don't hear any of this.
He can't hear because I'm the guy's just talking to me.
He also thought you were Ryan Higgins.
Yeah.
He didn't even ask the names.
Okay.
He just said, are you guys retailers?
I think he thought you were the boss.
So he's giving us drink tickets because he's going to give the whole row drink tickets.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, he's giving us drink tickets because of this mistake. And so I'm like, yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what happened. We got this email, and the guy's
this
like...
old guy with this stack of drink coupons, and I hear Ryan like, so I got this email that says VIP, reserve seat, and this guy's like...
And you're like, dude, shut up.
This guy's like, I understand your confusion. Would you like a free drink?
And he has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. It's like some 80-year-old man who's been coming there for decades.
You're like, thanks, man.
But I had no clue.
Right.
Obviously, I did not hear the first part of this conversation.
Can I also add, before the Eisners asked Ryan, is there a dress code? And he goes, we should dress up, right?
Because I thought we were going to be.
So anyways, we go into the plebe section, and the first guy that hands us a fucking program is a dude with no fucking sleeves on, man. Did you?
Right.
No way.
Even when I sent the email back and I said, hey, I'm sure you guys don't want us to show up in shorts and like a sweaty Batman t-shirt, but is there a specific dress code?
Batman
And Jackie Estrada, the head of the Eisners, was the one that replied to me, and she said, no, there's no dress code specific, but it's a gala event. We recommend people dress up. So I'm like, yeah, we're in the because that was the email I was replying to.
God, this is...
What
he's saying now, I envision him saying to this old man sitting
She's not going to reply.
Just trying to nicely give you a ticket for being
idiot.
nominated.
She's not going to reply to some rando.
And Ryan's like, well, I can't even get to the bar. It's on the other side of this line.
Well, that's not the next from Holy jumping the story.
She's not gonna give drinkets. She's not gonna respond to an email for some rando and carrying a bunch of Funko Pops sitting in the back of the room, right? So I'm like, we're in. We're at the table.
I was nominated.
But it dawns on me as we're going through the math.
Just imagine Ryan all sweaty in a Batman t-shirt carrying like 50 Funko Pops in these grocery bags. I was nominated. I feel like I need to sit in the tables with everybody.
As the night's going on, and I'm becoming a little more... We're realizing that clearly there was some confusion, but we're in the right spot. It's dawning on me that 34...
we're in the right spot.
32 stores were nominated, 34 stores or something like that. You figure they all have 2 to 5 people with them. That would have been 3/4 of the seating area. If they all were in the seating area. If they nominated but not finalists.
I think the clue should have been also that next to us was another store owner that was sitting there.
They were just all in sweaty Batman t-shirts and cargo shorts. Like every other person was normal.
But wouldn't you rather be the better dressed person at an event rather than the slob?
And this is why being the better dressed person is to your advantage.
Yeah, we can walk into the VIP area.
Carry the story.
Those drink tickets got us in, and we were just like, so it ends. I mean, a lot of great winners. Tom King, 4 out of 5.
King cleaned up.
4 or 5 awards.
That the one award he did not win was won by Giant Days.
Yeah, for best ongoing. Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught it, but maybe it's a little bit like the Oscars when the person just wins like their 10th award for the night. The crowd's kind of like,
another one.
By the end,
Tom King though knew it too. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna make this short. Thanks. See you guys later. We got a drink."
It did feel like the crowd had kind of turned on him a little bit. It was a little odd because when someone like
you won 4 out of 5.
He won 4 out of 5, and Mitch won 3 out of 3. For Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
So big night for them. Chip Zdarsky won for one of his issues with Peter Parker.
Spider-Man.
He was drunk. Really funny.
Whoa, but don't throw Chip under the bus.
That Hall of Fame section.
You should have seen Chip on Friday. He was at any booth signing.
Yeah.
He was at the DC booth signing. He was at Comixology signing.
Rock,
you weren't even there.
No, I'm seeing this shit on Twitter while I'm working.
The Hall of Fame part of the Eisners.
I see.
Okay.
So the Hall of Fame at the Eisners, I shit you not, I had tears in my eyes, and I'm not even saying that with hyperbole. You had like Jim Aparo's kids, you had Jeanette Kahn, Paul Levitz.
Yeah, some of the best people in the industry getting
Jose Garcia Lopez.
ElfQuest.
Wendy and Richard Pini.
Yeah. It was like, if these people are just winning now, who the fuck has won for the last 50 years? Because these are some of the biggest names in comics. And not just not today, like lifetime, right? Yeah. So it was like Kevin said that if Jose Luis Garcia Lopez was actually there, he would have left the Eisners at that moment because he wasn't there to accept the award. He would have left the Eisners, gone back to the hotel room, got his book, and come back.
I would have paid any price to get a taxi to get me straight there and back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Sergio Aragonés accepted, or I don't know. Somebody else came up. He was the presenter. Somebody else came up to accept the awards for people who weren't there.
Yeah. And, the Eisners, regardless of being nominated, you see the Eisners online, I'm kind of like, okay, this is fine, or whatever. Actually being there, I had a ball.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's skip to the part where you jumped the line. You went under the velvet rope.
Well, at the end of the night, they took it down.
We were on the other side before, right? So it's really just going back to where we really belong,
check.
right?
Got it.
Let's make this clear.
Kevin was hoping his plate was still there.
No, they wheeled out the food during the ceremony.
Yeah.
Kevin sounds so disappointed.
That's my plate.
That's my plate.
My plate on that cart that's just passing by.
Can you just feed it to me on the chair? I'm in the front row. It's close.
Well, they dump everyone out, and the VIP area, everyone stays in the VIP area, and we're like, drink ticket bar.
Yeah. Just went right there.
We're in line. We're dressed up. Nobody said a word.
See, that's the thing. We're not going to stand out because we're not in the sweaty shirt.
Yes. Aren't wearing a Batman shirt and cargo shorts. Yep. And I don't got no Funko Pops. I went back to the hotel and planned my trip.
So we're just mingling among. Who did we talk to?
Tom King, Mitch Gerads,
and you seem like
Ed Brubaker,
these people.
Jen Bartel, and
what's it?
Jeanette Kahn.
Jeanette Kahn, that was a big one.
That was.
She was a long-time editor for DC.
Or she was the publisher.
She was a long-time publisher for DC.
She was super nice.
And I said to her, remember? I said, are you going to be at the convention at all for you to sign this book of mine that I don't have with me because I wouldn't take it to an award ceremony?
She just said no.
She goes, no. But then she goes, the next time you're in New York, give me a call.
Shut up.
And I'll sign it for you. And she gives me her card.
Get out.
That's really sweet of her.
Yeah.
She was super sweet.
Yeah, that's really
I'd
nice.
be planning a trip to New York. And
just kind of, it was a lot of like, and that person, and that person, and that person.
So far, I want you guys that are listening to understand that I don't feel like I've heard the word Marvel coming from Ryan and Kevin's mouth. Everything's been
Chip Zdarsky was the only Marvel person at the Eisners. He won the one award he was up for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan did whisper over a couple of times, like, it's DC's years.
DC fucking cleaned up left and right. I mean, that's normally DC and Image clean up at the Eisners, and this year was no exception. I mean, for the best new series, Image was 5 for 5 for like 6 for 6 for nominees. Every book was an Image book.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was DC had a huge year, Image had a huge year.
First Second had a big year.
First Second got a lot of stuff. Yeah. And it's cool too because
so you're at the bar.
Well, that was combined with the mingling.
Right.
Yeah, that's really
You're
it.
Mingling at the bar,
just kind of hung out and
so the end of your night ends at what time?
God, that thing went till like 11:30, and we were there for
Ryan's
easy
dying.
another hour.
So Ryan's in bed at like 12:30.
Yeah, so it is quite funny.
Toby,
yes.
It is quite funny.
What do you do after
because
this?
it is. They kind of finished the hit list. They were like, "All right, it's time to go," right? And they kept trying to leave. I'm like, "No, we're going over here, and we're gonna check this."
Now, the one thing I didn't do that someone else did was jump on stage, grab one of the Eisners for one of the winners that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And pose in front of the podium with the Eisner. I was like, I'm okay to a certain point, but I don't want to get kicked out. I did the selfie.
So that's the selfie.
When I jumped,
Scott's holding up this is from Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So, but there's another person after this who actually got
Gets up
on the stage and
stage.
holds an Eisner for the photo.
And I was just like, I think I'd rather not. I think I'm just gonna not because they probably were supposed to be there, and they probably maybe wouldn't have gotten too much trouble.
Right.
If they were like, "Who are you?" I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want to risk that. But Toby said, we went to sleep at like 1:00 on Thursday night or whatever, or Friday night, and he's like,
where'd you go?
Oh, we got to do our pizza joint.
he's like, this is the earliest I have ever been to sleep.
Yeah,
at Comic-Con.
don't you like go out at night and do all these super after parties?
I don't have any peoples this time. It was Ryan, and Ryan goes, "I'm
he's
going
an
to
old
bed.
man.
I'm going to bed."
Kevin
I'm
would've
like,
gone with you.
what do I do? I guess I go to bed too. And I'm all like, "Okay, I'm a fucking stay up a little bit." And he goes, "Hey man, can you turn off the light?" I'm like, "Damn!" I'm like, "God damn! I can't go to bed. I'm tired." Phone. It's 1:00. I'm like, I'm not making any noise, right? It's one fucking light.
Keep your light. It's the light on your
like,
phone.
there's no buttons on the
I
fucking
will tell you
phone.
this. You know what?
What?
Blue light.
The light on your phone is fine.
It just keeps everybody awake.
No, I don't care if the light on your phone.
No, but it fucks your eyes. You have to leave one light on.
Yeah.
I care.
I care about my eyes, Uncle. Obviously, you don't care about mine.
God, it's so hard to read a phone in black.
Saturday.
Well,
okay.
Well, wait. You got to do. If we're following the format here, you now have to do Friday's news.
Sorry. We did have.
Oh, there's actually stuff going on.
The big thing Friday.
Other stuff was happening.
Was that Hall H?
Well, we talked about the So was X-Men Friday or Saturday? X-Men was Friday, right? All the X-Men announcements.
No, it's Saturday.
By the way, there's a theme going on of where we were, where
Saturday.
we shouldn't have been, and we just enjoyed the shit out of it.
Okay, so it was Saturday. So that was it for Friday. That was it news-wise for Friday. Saturday rolls around. Now, Saturday was Toby was like, I got shit to do. And Toby's up, gone. Right? And I'm like, he wakes up and he's in line. You went to Mattel. You went.
I don't even know what it is. Wait, what day are we on?
Saturday.
What time did you get up to go? How much sleep did you get that night?
6:30?
Jesus Christ. That's like 5 hours of sleep?
No, that's late. They usually wake up 4 or 5.
The 5 is like the golden age compared to what he got Wednesday night.
Wait, hold on. So
Wednesday night was in regular Toby party mode.
Wednesday night, Thursday morning was...
That's when you started getting texts at 6?
Yeah, all right. I got early text. Friday morning was the brunch.
6 a.m.?
Other people at the con.
Going, where the hell are you? Let's go.
Well, Charlie would have texted me at 4 a.m. going, I'm in line, buddy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I went to some line, I think.
Yeah, you went to Mattel, didn't you?
No.
For your He-Man?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was the nuttiest of all things I've ever seen. Okay, in all my con going, I've never seen this before. This is a new one. It's hard to impress me. So there was this Mattel line where they eventually would let someone in, right? And I kind of figure, as the line goes, they pick a couple people and put them in line, and the line just stays the same length. They kind of let the entire line go, as in there was no line against the wall. And they had all these people that they made forced to walk, so you're not allowed to stand still. So everybody listened, to be fair, they did. But they kind of just walked back and forth, right? So you got this massive amount of people that are just walking back
just
and forth.
randomly shuffling.
Yeah, just randomly shuffling, right? Like zombies, right? And then all of a sudden, they go, okay, line's open. And it was like, poof!
Everyone just sidesteps into the line.
Dude, the line just was like appeared. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Right? I'm like, I better get in this line too. I'm like trying to shut myself in.
And then they just are like, nope.
Well, they start kicking people out. But there's a guard that liked me. He goes, yeah, this guy is good.
It sounds like what's the musical chairs?
Yeah,
it is.
right.
It totally.
And then did they say, okay, now break and turn on the music?
Dude, no, I have never seen this before. It was like, move, motherfucker. Well, they didn't say the F word, but they say move, right?
Just keep walking.
And then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, line's open, and the entire line just appeared.
So weird.
Fucking teleportation.
I went by the Mattel line multiple times. The Mattel line and the Marvel line. Sorry, Craig at CraigPAnderson.com. Holy shit. No.
The one.
Just never.
Yeah.
Craig at CraigPAnderson.com has something to do with...
No, I offered to get Craig the Marvel T-shirts he was interested in, but I couldn't even get close to that booth.
It was like you had to get in the giant line to get a time to come back to stand in the even gianter line.
Yeah, and then that actually leads you to a line where you're allowed to buy the stuff.
So... I am a notoriously poor line stander.
Oh, yeah. The Comic-Con is not for you, my friend.
Although you're interested mainly in comics stuff, so you would have an advantage.
Yeah. Because everybody's standing in line.
Yeah.
I'd be at the vendors going...
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot something for Friday.
See,
Tom King and Mitch Gerads.
What?
Yeah.
That was Friday.
Was
we
it?
Talk about that. Yeah, because Saturday was Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
So
Friday
Mitch? Were you just chilling with Tom and Mitch?
They said come back.
Weren't they Saturday?
No, they were Saturday.
They were Saturday because we saw them at the Eisners.
Yeah,
I love
you did both Tom and Mitch and Greg and Scott on Saturday.
One was the morning and one was late.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how Brock is telling everybody what
because I saw this shit on Twitter.
It's very confusing.
I am following Ryan's Twitter, and you did whine a lot.
Scott, I will just say to close that other topic, the easiest area at the convention to move around where you can breathe and browse comfortably and not be is the comic section.
It's a comic book section.
There's like 3 aisles of comics.
People there.
You can go see Phil and Alan and just be like, what's up? There's nobody around. I'm going to lay down on the floor.
There's a big sign hanging up above it that says Golden and Silver Age Pavilion.
Oh, yeah?
And so there's probably, 20 comic booths.
Yeah.
You can probably haggle. You can be like, hey, man, look at this giant line. None of them are here.
The problem is
I'm
they
here.
pay so much to be there. The prices of
Just
the comics they're not double, but they're not cheap at those. I mean, look, nothing is cheap anymore, which is crushing, and I actually just bought a bunch of stuff.
You better get on. When is Hall H? Friday or Saturday? Marvel.
Sunday.
Well, we didn't.
Or Saturday.
Marvel.
Saturday.
Okay.
So we're on Saturday.
We have 3 big things for Saturday
Toby
news-wise.
wakes up, goes to Mattel.
But so me and Kevin ended up going.
I did get my He-Man, man.
Who was it?
It was He-Man.
Oh, that was just He-Man.
And Prince Adam.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Toby's line crazy. I'm just wandering the hall for a bit because whoever, I'm not sure who was running.
What are you prepping for?
Tom King and Mitch Gerads, their booth, they said, they're going to be back at like noon or whatever it was, or 1 or whatever.
Saturday is the day I had to go do the interviews. So I came and met you.
Dude, tell your interview stories first. Yeah.
So these were on-camera interviews that are going to be posted sometime coming soon. I interviewed a writer named Christopher Cantwell, who currently writes for Dark Horse. He's right. Oh, wait, we got some news about Cantwell at the retailer lunch that I wasn't allowed to ask about because this was a Dark Horse centric. We were in the Dark Horse press room. So he writes this book called She Could Fly. He's got a new book called Everything coming out, and he's doing the reboot of The Mask for Dark Horse. He is also writing the solo Doctor Doom comic for Marvel. Oh. But I couldn't ask him about that.
Yeah. Because it's Dark Horse.
Yes. And the Dark Horse publicist would have frowned on it. So I had to go do that, and then I ran the camera for another interview with an actress, the actress who plays the wife. I don't even know the character's name.
Yeah, I forgot her
I'm
name.
a bad fan.
On what TV
In
show?
the Marvel movie, in Captain Marvel and Spider-Man. She's Ben Mendelsohn's wife, the Skrull's
wife.
Okay.
So then I went back down to meet Ryan in line for King and Mitch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I caught up on the timeline?
Yeah. We all went over there. So because they said, they're going to be back. Come back, wait in line. So we waited for a little bit, and
I tried to get myself a Tessa Thompson.
Oh yeah, you were over there for the Westworld.
Yeah.
The guys behind us in line were at the Westworld signing.
Yeah,
right?
They actually
were
were
super
in
cool.
the signing.
Yeah. They were super cool. Jeremy, one of the retailers, listens to the podcast. Talk to him online all the time. He met us up in line. He bought the very last print that Kevin was like, I didn't see that. I would have bought that.
Yeah.
One of Mitch Miracle Man print. So
Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, like a very kind of like
Mr. Miracle.
Or Mr. Miracle. Sorry,
you're doing it again. Miracle Man.
Never gonna stop.
That was me. The last time was Miracle
Man.
Stop.
But he did it at the con.
He did it at the con.
Yeah.
Hey, I
that's
can't.
embarrassing.
It's just
Shazam. That's embarrassing.
It was a really, really nice print.
Yeah, it's a cool print. Yeah,
but he did have other cool prints. So that Superman one was pretty dope.
Yeah. So bought a couple comics, got some stuff signed, talked to them, took a few pictures. Could actually, actually talk to people that I talk to online regularly, and they were super, super nice. And they just they're like, just come back. We'll sign anything. It doesn't matter. They're with a company, right? So you gotta pay kind of get in. But the creators are always like, just see me after. You don't have to pay for this stuff. But they're with a company, so I'm like, look, I am more than happy to wait in line. I am more than happy to buy the product. You're here. You're with a company. You're getting paid.
What company again?
It's comic art something.
Is it comic art? I can't think of it.
Yeah.
They sponsor a bunch of creators.
Yeah, they rep a ton of people.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that set up the booth, so the creators don't do it, so it's just
it's a big chunk of Artist Alley, but it's run by a company. But they were super awesome. They were really, really nice.
Oh, while you were in line is when I went over to meet Mike Royer, who was Kirby's inker on all those Fourth World books, to sign my book.
Yeah. What did he tell you?
So this is where the dam starts to break, I think, with the paying.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin said, I will never pay someone.
I didn't. I don't think I said it that explicitly. I said I had never paid for an autograph, and so the concept of it was hard for me to wrap around.
And then once he broke it, it was all over.
Yeah, then the dam. Toby called it.
Off.
Once there's a crack in the dam, it's all over. So Royer goes, I'm asking $5 donation for this cancer research fund.
And you're like,
I said, no. No problem. Like, that man's a legend.
And you paid $5 for an autograph.
And then he goes, so Royer signs the book and he goes, if you don't mind, could you please put in your will, if anything should happen to you, that this book goes to me? But that follows on the heels of, at WonderCon, Gail Simone's boyfriend, when she signed it, was looking at it and he goes, if anybody should come up behind you in a dark alley and hit you over the head and steal that book, it wasn't me.
So people want your book at this point.
Well, because half the creators are dead who are in it.
Yeah.
So then I went back to catch up with these guys in line.
Yeah.
So a safety deposit box is in Kevin's future.
We went and got some food. I came back for the Tom King. I'm sorry, we came back for the...
Did you eat? Okay, here's the thing. So it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
You've seen Tom and Mitch.
Mexican food time.
Oh, yeah, Lolitas.
You leave or you eat?
We left the convention.
Oh, you always leave the convention center.
I'm like, good Lord, don't eat the con
this
food.
spot was pretty good.
Yeah,
I like this spot a lot.
Yeah, so got some
There's
food.
a lot of good food in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. I had to go back. These guys wandered around.
What did you have?
I went... What?
What did you have to go back for?
Because we had to go for Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Because I had bought a print to do their signing.
Okay.
So we get back there and I'm like, I'm like the last person in line. And a couple other people rolled up behind us, but I was like,
I got to meet RJ.
Yeah, so RJ, who is...
RJ is dope.
Geekbox, he was on the Geekbox years ago. He's been a fan of me a bunch. He is now a very successful video game and movie
creator
guy. He's working for Ubisoft now. He worked on the Detective Pikachu, and when that broke, that he did all the not all, but when he did a lot of the concept design artwork for Detective Pikachu, a lot of the character design stuff. Suddenly you're like, oh, you've made it. Oh, congratulations. He was like, finally, I can talk about this thing that I've been working on for 2 years. I'm working on Detective Pikachu. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because he does these like realistic Pokemon. That was kind of like the thing he was doing. Is it's like a fan art. And suddenly he's designing, the Pokemon for the live action movie.
This is the guy that the Sonic people should have hired, right?
Yeah. He asked. he said he contacted the Sonic people, and we're like, if you guys need more help, let me know. And he's amazing. He's so good. He's amazing artist. Super nice guy.
We met several listeners over the weekend. I don't remember everybody's name at this point. It was just a whirlwind, but several people would come up, like hear Toby talking, and hey, are you Toby?
Yeah. On Sunday,
some guy found Ryan.
You know where the one dude figured out who I was at the Boys Experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know when that dude can tweet in, write in, but there's a part in there where they go chant "fuck the soups." So I'm like, yeah, fuck the soups. So I think he may have recognized me on the word.
He's like, is that Toby?
Word fuck?
Fuck yeah.
Yes. And I was like, that'd be my day.
That sounds like Toby from the Comics Conspiracy.
Obviously, I say that word too much.
Well, you said somebody recognized your voice or Toby's voice?
We had a listener that had a conversation with Toby on Sunday, and it was like, where do I know this guy from? Turns around and hears me talking at a different booth right across from where Toby was, and is like, Ryan? Wait, is that Toby? Like, so, yeah. Yeah, very, very funny.
That's
very,
very funny.
They were talking about Nightwing, so that's all. He was like, "Yeah, I think that was Toby. We were talking about
Saturday.
Nightwing.
That was Saturday.
That was Sunday.
Yeah. No, it was Saturday.
Sunday was Snyder.
Well, that was Saturday. Yeah, that was Saturday.
That was at the
still.
Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
So you're actually on timeline right now, so we're doing okay.
This dude approached me and started talking about Nightwing. I'm like, that's funny because he just talked. Oh, you're talking to the right guy.
Yeah.
So we started a full-on conversation about Nightwing, and I'm like, all right, man, good luck, man. See you later. Have a good one. Enjoy the fucking con.
It's random that people randomly are like, hey, I know that guy.
Well, he was like...
Well, he didn't recognize me then.
Yeah.
He was like, I was talking to this guy about Nightwing, and I'm like, so that was Toby. Yes, that was obviously Toby. Yes, if it was Nightwing, it was Toby. Yeah. Yes.
So I think I called you that moment.
Yeah. I put it on speakerphone.
He put me on speakerphone with this dude, and I hear him out of context going, because we were talking about the Kotobukiya Nightwings are made for girls.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like on the phone going, yeah, man, don't buy the butt one. And there's a security guy right next to me looking, what the fuck did you just say? I'm like, okay, out of context, this could be really weird.
Don't buy the butt one.
The butt one.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and
they were just plowing. Like,
yeah, there. Scott had like a long box that he was signing for some dude or something. I don't know what was going on. He looked pretty beat, so it was very quick. But got my stuff signed. Then I waited in line.
Did not bring up Bryce in the arm wrestling contest with Greg Capullo, and
there was no chance.
Disappointed.
No, this was
I definitely tried. Okay, I definitely tried. But there was this big ass motherfucker.
Bigger than Greg Capullo?
Way bigger.
Tom King's bodyguard.
And he's not a motherfucker. He's a nice dude.
No, super nice guy.
Is it Dan or Dave?
But, no. He was standing there making sure that ain't nobody gonna butt in for me to go, hey, man.
Yeah. This was not a line that you could just roll up or a line. Like, it was like... Sign out.
He stood right in the middle, so Ryan would have to do Capullo and then walk around, not go. Walk around him to go to Scott Snyder, who's sitting right next to him.
But this was everyone. This was everyone. They were.
Oh, is that
they had
so you
to keep
could
that
usher
line.
right back out?
Yeah, they had to keep that line going.
And in fact, when they signed it, they just handed that shit off. I'm like, I think that's Ryan, so I'm going to take it.
Yeah, they had to keep that line moving because it was huge.
It was a pretty long
It would have
line.
gone on forever.
I have to say that the security guys this year did a really, really good job.
Just in general.
No, in general, they have fun with it. There's one dude, they're all big dudes. There's one dude that walked around, and he was pretty hilarious because he walked around, he kept telling me, don't piss me off, or Unicorn's going to get mad. And what he was, he had a little fucking unicorn toy that he had in his hand. And he's like, if you piss me off, this one's going to get mad. And he would press a button that had like the teeth. It was actually pretty funny when he did it. It was like, and there was a couple other, there was the redhead guy that was pretty tall. He was really nice. He was like funny. Like they all have fun with it. Like with them, it was almost like a game at that point, right? But they were really good.
They're like, gotta corral these nerds.
Pretty much.
At the Eisners, Bill Sienkiewicz won for one of his art books that they put out. And he was Bill Sienkiewicz is a riot. He's amazing.
That's Toby's new favorite comics creator.
Really? Dude, if we party, man, we party with that dude, man. Just trust me. That shit is only going to go well. It's only going to go well.
So I think next year you're looking for Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Oh, well, there's another Sienkiewicz. The dude wouldn't get off the stage. They literally were like, go off the stage. I'm like, all right, let me tell this one more thing. And as he walked off, he ran back and I remember what I was going to say. And I think at the next award, because he won more than one.
Yeah.
Like, or his team won. Yeah, so he came on that one, and then you could tell that
everyone's sort of laughing.
Yeah, he had to stay to the side while the other gentleman was talking, right? And you could tell he was like, I gotta say some shit too. And he did. I mean, he butted in eventually anyways.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I love that guy.
Well, this is Neal Adams' time.
Yeah. So I stood in line.
So what time are we at? Give us the timeline.
It's about 5 o'clock or so.
5 o'clock.
Yeah. Because
4 or 5 somewhere in there.
Because it was about 4 o'clock because they said that Bill Sienkiewicz was going to be back at 5 from 5
I can't
to 6.
believe we're doing a Charlie style podcast.
Well, so I said
where we go down every minute. Well, then we went to the bathroom.
Well, I said I gotta go get Bill Sienkiewicz to sign something. He had an art book there, so I was like, I'm gonna pick up his con book.
Dude, like, can we get that guy here, man?
He is by far one of my favorite artists. His new stuff is just fucking incredible.
What does he do now?
Covers. He does random stuff. He doesn't do a lot of regular work. He's going to be doing a one-shot New Mutants with Chris Claremont, which I'm fucking super stoked for. But they said he was going to be back at 5, and it was like 4:15, and I'm like, I'm just going to stay here. Can I start the line? And they're like, yeah, go for it. So it wasn't a crazy line, but by the time he got there, he was like 5:15 or so. By the time he showed up, there was a good 15, 20 people.
I did
in line,
a bunch
maybe.
of other shit that time.
So you guys went off, but Kevin's got his story.
This next segment is dedicated to Lane.
Oh God!
Lane didn't go this year.
No, he did not.
Oh, Lane.
Okay, so
he would have been the guy carrying the Funko Pops.
As has come up on this podcast before, Adams is the great. So, I got Walt Simonson at this con.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you pay for it?
No.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I had never paid until Mike Royer. I had never paid for any of the signatures in that book.
That's not really paying.
It's donated.
Okay.
But once the
But Neal Adams
is off.
Neal Adams' policy is he will sign for $50. That doesn't get you a print.
No.
That means you bring a book up, he will put his signature on it for $50. And I always just went, no effing way. For years, no way. But then, as these guys have worn me down, it's just a thing.
The dam broke.
That book is never going to be complete without him.
We go back to the line, and he's like, I'm going to do it. I got 50 bucks in my hand. Let's go.
Toby gave me the money to go do it.
He's like, not there.
Do it.
I was
Here's
like,
the money.
The seal is broken, motherfucker. You might as well do it.
Paid
So
$5
Ryan and
Otherwise, you would have gone to
Ryan
the
and I go
ATM.
marching up to the Adams booth. I'm like, I'm going to do it. God damn it, I'm going to do it. We get
He's
there.
not there.
Shut up.
The one time he was doing a panel. The one time he was not there. And Kevin's like, it's a sign. It's a sign.
I shouldn't be buying this.
Kevin is flipping out, dude.
Okay, so then I went back, and he's there. He's come back from his panel. He's working on somebody's Batman commission.
Oh, can we talk about how we never righted it at this con?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Toby wanted to riot.
Yeah.
So I go up to Adams. I'm just like, okay, Toby's money's in my pocket. Like, I'm on the downhill here. The snowball's coming. Like, there's no turning back. I just go, this book, I showed him, like, this starts with Julius Schwartz back in 95, I think, or 96. Is the first signature in there going forward. I said, I've really come to realize this book just not be complete without you in it. He goes, yeah, that's true.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
So then I said, I'm thinking, like, this whole time, I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm paying $50 for this dude's signature. I do not want him squeezing in next to somebody else like all these other guys have done. Originally, I had a space between Denny O'Neil and Dick Giordano where I was going to get Adams to sign, but I'm like, no, 50, I want as much ink on this fucking page as I can get. So
you got Jabalin, too. Someone broke the trend. He drew.
Ballant asked me.
Kaluta drew.
Well, they all had done little, like Archie Goodwin, Sergio. They do,
tiny
but Ballant goes, "Do I have to just sign this, or could I draw Catwoman in here too?" Like,
You're like, hey, go knock yourself out.
Yeah, sure.
Batgirl, right?
No, it's Catwoman.
It's a nice Catwoman, too.
It's Catwoman.
It's Catwoman.
She's got long black hair. That's what the.
I'm going to look at it again.
will.
Jim Ballant is Catwoman.
No, it's Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because remember, he colors the hair really dark Sharpie.
Oh. For
Yeah.
some reason, I think when I looked at it, I thought it was Batgirl.
No, it's Cat. I'll bring it next time I know you're going to be here. I'll bring it. So I said to Adams, here, I open up the front cover where nobody has signed yet. I said, I want you here. Picks up a Sharpie, and then he puts it down, and he opens up his zipper pouch of art supplies, and he pulls out like a pen that's like the size of a gun barrel. Uncaps this thing.
The thickest Sharpie in existence.
The thickest black thing. You could paint a wall with this pen, and he writes his name in the center of this page. You saw the photo.
The font is like look at your thumb.
Yeah, the font is
Every letter is the size of your thumb.
Yeah, easily.
It's like double your thumb
and
almost.
he signs it, and then he leans back and looks at it, and he goes, heh, heh, heh. He goes, let the rest of them work around me.
And at this time,
I'm just like, God bless you, Neal. No, I'm like, perfect. That's exactly what that money got me. Like, perfect.
Now, we did hear a great addition to this story later. That one of the creators we were talking to later.
No, it's Sienkiewicz.
Oh,
because I went to meet Ryan at the Sienkiewicz. Because Bill Sienkiewicz was one of the first 5 signatures in that book.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I showed it to him. I said, look at the garden that's grown around what you sign. And he's flipping through it, and then he sees the Neal, and he just starts laughing. He goes, because Steranko was there too. And Sienkiewicz goes, if you go up to Steranko, he's going to have to sign exactly 1 inch bigger than that.
Did you have him sign?
No, because
I think he should have.
Steranko's policy, I find even more insulting than Adams.
Oh, Jesus.
You go up to Steranko's booth and you pay $20 for a print, he won't sign it. You'll have to pay $20 for him to sign the print you just bought at his booth. Any other creator will sign the thing you buy at the
$40.
$40.
So what about? So he won't sign your book?
He'll sign your book for $20.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm not complaining about
The seal
that.
is off, my friend. The seal is off.
I'm saying normally if you buy a print from somebody, they will sign it for free.
You just need to paper mache some shit in there. Just get him to sign like a picture and then just paper mache it in there.
So
I
back
think-
to Sienkiewicz.
Finish the story.
Oh, no, Kevin showed him the book. I was first in line, so we got to spend a few minutes with him. I got him to sign, and we were talking about the Eisners and just... I love his artwork so much, and I was like, dude, your current stuff is the best of your... Like, you are... I don't know how this happens, but you are doing the work of your career right now. And he was like, usually people tell me everything gets way worse when you get older. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is you are on. Like, the stuff he does now...
If you look at Sienkiewicz's Instagram, you'll see his paintings.
He does, life paintings of people, celebrities when they've passed away. He's done a ton of these recently, and they are... jaw-dropping. I am blown away by everything he does. I like his comic work. I like his old stuff. But his new stuff, to me, is just
like
on
him,
another...
He's dope as hell. Man.
He's great.
I'm going to start seeing every panel he does.
Yeah.
Man. It's fucking entertainment.
He's a talker. He's
Now,
very fun.
In hindsight, though, that $50 was well fucking worth it.
Oh, hell
Look
yeah.
at the stories you got out of it, man.
Because everybody who's...
Come on, man. That was so worth it.
I agree with you. I'm not arguing. Every creator who saw it for the rest of the weekend just laughed and laughed.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, that's such Neal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was said probably 5 different times. That exact phrase.
Yeah.
That's so Neal.
So there was some big news on Saturday. So we had the Watchmen trailer.
Well, you haven't even gotten to Saturday night.
Well, right? Saturday, we took off. I mean, we got food, we got some drinks. I was fucking exhausted by the end of that day, Saturday. So, I mean, we went and got food. Ended up going back to your
My pizza.
Your hip hop pizza place that now plays bad hip hop music.
That was after the Eisners. That's when
did we go twice?
We do it Thursday night and Friday.
I went
night.
every night.
Oh, did you go back?
Well, because
No,
I lost
Saturday,
you guys
though.
numerous times. I had dinner night there
every
night.
time you walked by the hip hop pizza place, you got pizza.
No, I lost you guys every night eventually. At least twice I ate there by myself, not with you guys.
That's funny.
They started playing the good stuff again on the very last night.
Oh, did they?
So maybe
Okay,
I just
okay.
have the nights wrong.
We're in there,
Like,
and
what kind of
Toby's
good
like,
stuff?
"This pizza's good, but this music fucking sucks."
Quest?
He's like, "This music shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "This music sucks."
This is all the new shit.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't. It was Saturday. It wasn't
Old
too
Town
crazy.
Road?
No, God, no. I would have walked out.
With your pizza.
Yeah, with my pizza. Watchmen trailer, though. Did you guys end up watching that Watchmen trailer?
No.
Oh, I did watch it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Can we talk about a far more
yes, it's
important
good. Looks
trailer
good.
than Watchmen?
What?
Well, let's talk about Watchmen first.
All right,
Watchmen.
fine.
Huh?
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's exciting, because
I have
it's
I have no clue.
I think it's a sequel, right?
Yeah.
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 Or a
It has to
prequel
be.
or a sequel?
No, it's a
or-
sequel.
No, it's a sequel because
I think it's a
Ozymandias
sequel.
older.
Yeah.
Jeremy
that's
Irons
right.
is playing Ozymandias.
Oh.
And the funny thing is like, if
Or
you...
Ozymandias,
Yeah.
depending on how pretentious we want to get.
When you watch the trailer on YouTube and it has the subtitles on it, it actually says Ozymandias. But for the hooded guy, it doesn't say his name when he talks.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm curious.
I'm very curious. It's just like, I don't know.
That's the same category for me as Joker.
I mean,
You just totally, it's
Like,
like,
yeah. total unknown.
What is this
but
going
I think,
to be?
I think this is brilliant because
yeah.
you can still enjoy the movie, and this could be an addition to the movie at this
Right,
point.
right.
So,
Or the book.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. What's your other trailer?
fucking Top Gun, man. Dude,
That trailer looked really good.
Oh yeah, Mr. Whatever.
So I didn't know
that they're going to
that
make
this
another
was
one.
going to be a thing.
Oh, dude, they've been working on this for a while now,
Are they
man.
bringing Goose back to life?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
The cat?
Yeah.
But dude, okay, Top Gun looks amazing. And then there was another trailer that Ryan really doesn't care about. It's called the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
Is it called the
That-
Jay and
that-
Silent Bob
yeah, it's
reboot?
fucking
Oh, that's
reboot.
fantastic.
It's
pretty
fucking
funny.
awesome, dude. I
Yeah.
can't wait for
I'm
that
excited
movie.
about that.
I can't. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's
you have to
I
see
try
it.
not to see the trailers.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You have to see this one when we're
Okay.
done. You have to see it because this jerk off won't enjoy it.
I have I just
Look
have
at
no
him.
interest.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's
Well,
too much sun
They
outside.
also dropped
Too much
the...
sun in this trailer.
I'm an old
Netflix
man.
dropped
I didn't have no sunblock before I watched this trailer. Therefore, I can't enjoy it.
Netflix dropped the Witcher trailer, so people got to see
That looked really
see
good.
the Witcher.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll
Isn't this
definitely watch that.
we're still on Saturday? I'm starting to feel like I'm
Yeah.
back at the con.
Yeah.
Isn't this Marvel Hall
but
H?
A couple of these are
Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there.
No, that's Saturday night.
They're coming. That's coming.
Okay.
That's coming.
Yeah,
That's coming.
that's
Saturday.
Saturday
They
night.
also released the Harley teaser for the animated for DC Universe.
Yeah,
And
that-
this- and
but
this
this
reading-
all means nothing because Saturday night set the stage
Is this the Hall
for
H?
a certain Marvel.
well, hold on. Still something else to talk about.
Okay.
Saturday was the X-Men panel.
This is Ryan's Twitter from this time period. This says, "What fucking day is it? San Diego Comic-Con
2019.
2019."
So
Fucking complaint.
we got the
Ryan.
full announcement of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men books coming up post House of X and Powers of
6
10.
of them coming out.
So we have.
Can't wait.
I'm going to go through this real quick with the creative teams
Let's get
and
ready to
character
geek out,
teams.
people.
X-Men by Jonathan Hickman and Lionel Francis Yu. That's in October.
I'm in.
With Cyclops, Wolverine, other Phoenix, not Jean Grey Phoenix. Although Jean Grey Phoenix is also in this.
Rachel
but Rachel, Rachel Summers. Havoc, the younger Cable, Corsair, and I don't actually know who that is in the background, but there's a random dude back there.
I'm in. Get me one of the variant covers because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of them.
Okay. Marauders by Jerry Dugan and Matteo Loli, who's currently doing Escort, or was doing Escort as the Galaxy. It's Kitty Pryde, Iceman, Storm, Pyro, Bishop, and White Queen.
Oh, all in.
Pretty interesting team.
All in. I'll have one of those and the variant cover as well.
So House of X drops tomorrow as of this recording, so a lot of these teams and concepts will make more sense after you're at House of X. Excalibur is coming in October by Teenie Howard and Marcus Toe, and that is Gambit, Jubilee, Betsy Braddock as looking more like Captain Britain.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Multiple Man. That's Richter. Wow, that's Richter. Rogue and Apocalypse. Again, Apocalypse on an X-Men team. What? New Mutants by Jonathan Hickman, Ed Bryson, and Rod Reus. With Sunspot, Wolfsbane, Mirage, Karma, Magic, Cypher, Chamber, and Mondo. So it's both New Mutants and Generation X kind of teaming up for
Husk.
A new team. I don't see Husk. Fallen Angel by Brian Edward Hill and Simon Karansky, with which has Psylocke, X-23, and Kid Cable. So he looks much younger in this drawing than the other picture. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. X-Force by and I don't know if they have dates for. Yeah, these are all October and November. Yeah. Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara, which has Mr. Sinister, Beast, Colossus, Wolverine. Is that? Oh, that's Sage. Wow. Okay. Jean Grey, Domino, and Kid Omega. So come on, Quit Inquire. So it's a crazy amount of teams.
Benjamin Percy too.
Yeah. Some of the DC
All
guys
in.
going over. Brian Edward Hill was mostly DC.
All in.
Love the Hub.
Brian's been both.
Love the Hub,
Brian
baby.
did the Killmonger series
did he?
for
Okay,
he did the Killmonger for Marvel. He's kind of back and forth.
My LCS owner will make sure that I get them all.
Yeah.
No, he will not.
Check for that email from Comic
Not
Cub.
this guy.
Aren't there more?
There were 6.
Those are the big ones. Those are the ones that were announced. Like other stuff is coming, but those are the ones that were officially announced.
There's Prisoner X was one of them.
I mean, is that I don't know.
Yeah,
I only know. Okay,
no. Hickman said there was 2 more where he just said the writer, but not the artist.
These are the only ones that have like official solicitation and text and art and everything like that. So
those are probably coming like late November. December.
Well, yeah. So Prisoner.
December,
I did an interview with Vita Alaya. Excuse me, and then after we were done, it gets announced that she's writing the new James Bond series for Dynamite. So I had to get in touch like, hey, superstar, you didn't tell me you're writing James Bond. Now can we talk some more about that? Then 2 weeks later, it gets announced she's writing Prisoner X for this Hickman line.
Yeah.
So I get back in touch. I'm like, hey, you didn't tell me you're writing X-Men. Like, is there anything else I need to know now? Like, she's blowing up with all these new titles for all these different companies. I think it's just great that somebody can like roll the dice like that, just come up a winner.
So, on the way back to the hotel, this is when suddenly everything started happening because the Marvel Cinematic Universe panel was going on right around this time as we were kind of leaving the convention. Man, if you thought I had no time before, oh boy. Let's go in this chronological order. Black Widow getting her official movie May 1st, 2020. Scarlett Johansson. Bunch of other people.
Check the box, people.
Now the big thing about this, they showed some footage, and they also showed a little scene of Taskmaster. Mm-hmm. So the big bad of the Black Widow movie is Taskmaster, and to me, that is about as perfect as you can get. Digging through your quarter bins, people, because Eternals is official. November 6th, 2020. Angelina Jolie
is not playing Cersei.
Nope. Lots of other big people. Salma Hayek's going to be.
Maybe they're just saving my life because if she was playing Cersei, it might hit.
Now, let's get something out of the way here. Eternals is nobody, and nobody cares about the Eternals. And I've never read the Kirby run, so I cannot comment on that. But there's never been a good book featuring or starring or about the Eternals. And even I will not comment about that.
Wait, you just said
Neal Gaiman did a version that you're like
books with them.
You just said I've never read the Kirby run, but there's never been a good book featuring the Eternals.
I don't know the Kirby run. Outside of that,
okay.
Neal Gaiman wrote the Eternals book.
Okay.
There has never been a good run of Eternals.
You have to read it. You have to read it to be able to say that.
I read some Eternal shit in German, so I do not have no idea what run it is, but I liked it.
Okay. I haven't read the Marvel announcement about this, so I don't know what they've addressed.
Yep.
But the 30-second thing that's baffling and exciting about the Eternals, of all things, coming. The Eternals was a book that Kirby did in the 70s, coming out of this craze for this book called Chariots of the Gods.
Yep.
That was a popular book at that time.
Aliens.
Which the premise is all the ancient religious artifacts and temple carvings are actually people worshiping the aliens that came and kickstarted life on Earth. And then the premise of Kirby's book is the aliens are coming back, the Celestials, that they've been gone for millions of years and are now coming back to modern. That cannot be the version they're doing in Marvel, because that changes the entire mythology of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're going to have to change it drastically.
I expect they're going to probably be on the blue side of the moon hanging out, and, right, it's like we tried with Inhumans, oops, fucked that up, and the Eternals are close enough. Because I have no clue. I have no clue. But again, remember, nobody cares about the Eternals. Nobody cared about Iron Man. Nobody cared. Nobody knew who Groot or Rocket Raccoon were. These things are all blank slates that Marvel Cinematic can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
including blank slates. Shang-Chi is coming up. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is like
that totally geeked me out. Just the name, I'm like, oh my god.
Well, they confirmed.
They should be excited.
What are they going to do?
They confirmed the real Mandarin, and just that schlocky title is so perfect. It sounds like a 70s kung fu movie, right? Good. Tony Leung, is that how Leung?
This movie came out years ago.
So he's playing the Mandarin, right? So very, very excited for that.
Yeah, apparently one of the guys that was read for the role on Saturday, got the role on Tuesday, and then was at the con on
Simu Liu
the next Saturday.
Simu? S-I-M-U?
I geeked out over that title. Totally geeked out over the title.
This is
because I could see.
I don't know.
I mean, in my head, I can see potentially where it could go.
Ryan was giving me these live updates off his phone in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, my one wish for Shang-Chi is make it a real martial arts movie, not a bunch like him fighting 100 CGI ninjas.
I have a feeling
Shang-Chi is a movie that they can, doing. If they want to do a movie on the quote-unquote cheap, this is the movie. And it could be great. I don't need this to be Doctor Strange with running up walls and crazy CG.
Let's do some line. Let's get them on.
Yeah, they could make this a really.
You don't even need to do that. Just do a street level, bone crunching martial arts fighting movie.
Yeah, you need to get them on the lines.
Personally, the worst name of all the movies announced is Thor: Love and Thunder, coming out November 5th, 2021.
Second most excited for this one.
It's going to be great.
Oh, I'm most excited for this one.
Where's our speculators at?
I'm very hopeful because I do like Taika Waititi is returning to direct, and I do like him quite a bit. What we do in the Shadows of Genius. I didn't care for the third
Is
Thor
Natalie
movie
Portman
that much.
going to act in this?
Natalie Portman came out, took the hammer, and announced that she is going to be Thor in this movie. So we are getting Jane Foster
is she
Thor.
Going to act in it?
I
feel like she's mailed in her Thor appearances so far.
So it's going to be Tessa Thompson, Natalie Portman, and Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
The second most excited is for that movie.
So
and first most excited is coming late.
While I have problems with Ragnarok, I am still very excited for this movie. And the name's stupid, but I'm still excited for the movie.
Fuck off.
Okay, next.
Now we move into TV shows. So we get official announcements of all the Marvel
I'm sorry
Plus
you forgot
TV
Doctor
shows.
Strange.
I'm going on the list that is deemed chronological.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were doing all movies and then all TV.
He's going chronological right now.
This is the order that it is listed.
Charlie order.
Okay.
This is the list order on Entertainment Weekly.
It has to be totally accurate.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Everything.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I wonder if it's going to be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier when it actually launches.
Not too excited about that.
Oh, I am fucking stoked for this.
They showed
Anthony
footage,
Mackie
right?
and Sebastian Stan. None of this stuff leaked as far as I know.
I know, but they showed footage on that one too.
I think
right?
so, yeah, I think so.
With Baron Zemo.
Fall 2020. So that is online.
Oh, Baron Zemo?
Zemo with the sock mask.
No.
Real Zemo.
Shut up.
Real.
Really?
It's the same guy.
It's the same guy, but actually fucking Baron Zemo.
Now you got me.
Go back to all our previous conversations. Civil War, a lot of good stuff. The villain was absolute trash.
I like Zemo in Civil War. I think I'm the lone representative.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I did it as well.
I am excited for an accurate take on Baron Zemo. So very excited for this. Again, it's not the mask. It's just
sure it is.
He's just a dude. I want Baron Zemo.
I think the Civil War version is a good building block to turn that character into Baron Zemo.
A little like Kingpin in Daredevil Season 1, where it's not Kingpin.
But it is by 3.
It is, yeah.
No, dude, he was totally Kingpin by 3.
I haven't seen 3 yet, but he was Kingpin in 2. Yeah.
No, watch number 3.
Yeah,
the way he manipulates in that fucking show.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Spring 2021, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch and the Vision for WandaVision, a trippy adventure with 50 inspired visuals. I'm excited for that. That could be really cool. And Monica Rambeau, who was the kid version of hers in the Captain Marvel movie. We now have an actress that's going to play her. Teyana Paris is going to be her. So we're going to have the Monica Rambeau version. Or, well, let me rephrase that. We're going to have Monica Rambeau in it. I don't know if she's going to be a photon or whatever, but she's going to be in the show as well.
Cool.
In Loki, spring 2021. Tom Hiddleston.
Doesn't matter. Tom Hiddleston. I'm in.
Tom's in.
And this
I'm in.
This does come directly out of Endgame, where he grabs the Tesseract and
he's a
takes
bad guy
off.
again.
So
And if this is all on Disney Plus,
this is all on Disney Plus.
then I will be buying Disney Plus.
Yeah,
That's not even a
absolutely
question.
will be.
Mark the tape. I do not have the DC streaming app yet. I will be getting Disney Plus.
Yeah, so he is a villain in that. Summer 2021, they're going to do their first animated movie or animated series for Disney Plus, which is What If, including every actor from every movie is going to play themselves. Yeah. And Jeffrey Wright is going to play the Watcher. So it's going to be narrated by Jeffrey Wright every episode. Cool. And finally, although there's still quite a ways off and a lot of stuff to talk about, Jeremy Renner is going to be in Hawkeye, a TV show in fall 2021.
With Kate Bishop.
Teaching a young Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Right.
So inspired, obviously, by the Matt Fraction, David Aja
Stoked.
run of Hawkeye. So
I'm stoked. So it was Kate Bishop in that movie.
No, it was not.
No.
Damn it.
So those are obviously big. That's all the big TV stuff. They go back to movies. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Sounds like a weird World of Warcraft expansion.
Wait. No. Wasn't it called Journey into Multiverse?
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is what it's called. May 7th, 2021.
I thought it was Journey into the Multiverse also.
And they said this is going to be the actual first scary MCU movie. I don't know if it's going to be rated R.
Oh,
but this is going to be
Scarlet Witch is in this movie.
Yes, and Scarlet Witch is going to be in it too. Yeah, she's going to be a major role in the movie in Doctor Strange.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm in.
And
I guess some of the stuff in the show is leading up to that movie. I'm in.
Doctor Strange was very middle of the pack for me.
Yeah, but you put Scarlet Witch in it, it's going to go up to pack.
But the character is amazing. Cumberbatch is incredible. His take on the character is good. I have a lot of hope for the sequel. I'm very, very hopeful for the sequel. It's going to be rated PG-13, but Kevin Feige does say the first scary MCU movie.
Nice.
So, and
then we're going to get Moon Knight with Keanu Reeves.
No, that wasn't announced.
Damn it.
So they did announce that many things are coming, including Captain Marvel 2.
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yep.
Black Panther 2.
Yep.
The Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And X-Men.
No, they did not.
Mutants.
Yep.
Mutants.
Yep.
Sorry. They officially said the mutants are coming.
Yeah.
The word X-Men I do not believe is actually named. This article says X-Men, but
mutants.
I believe mutants is what he said.
They were being very vague.
That's a weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think they're going to have a new spin on it.
I don't think
come
so.
out of Eternals.
I think they just don't want you to say anything yet.
Well,
I have a feeling, yeah.
I don't know if this was official. I read that FF will be the final Phase 4 movie. Because these are all Phase 4.
Okay.
All this stuff, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, I don't know if that's Phase 4.
Where's the one I'm really excited about fit in?
That might be Phase 5. That may be Phase 5. I don't know. So if
the Mutants, Phase 5? I see that.
No. Captain Marvel 2, Guardians, because Guardians 3 is years out.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long time. I thought Captain Marvel 2 and Black Panther 2 that they would be fucking fast-tracking the shit out of. I would be really surprised if those were like 2022 or beyond. I feel like they got those out 2021. But we have a shitload of movies that they've already got on the docket. So,
well, I think with Black Panther and Spider-Man specifically, Spider-Man they fast-tracked.
Well, and Spider-Man they said nothing about. And they did say there will be no Avengers movie in this phase. Which I think you end with FF.
Yeah.
That to me makes sense.
But they fast-tracked Spider-Man, and then there was that kind of weirdness with Endgame. So instead of and they were like, "Oh, Black Panther 2," and everyone's like, "But
well, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen."
It'd be kind of brilliant if they fish together the Fantastic Four slowly through the next phase, where you get glimpses of them, and you get so excited.
Well, you are, because you're going to get.
Well, we already got some in Far From Home.
Well, is Eternals in this phase?
Yeah.
So you're going to get the Eternals and the Celestials, and Galactus fits in with the Celestials. I think they're probably going to put him in that grouping of giant things that eat other things.
As long as it's not a goddamn cloud.
No, it won't be, because the Celestials won't all be clouds.
Clouds are
Hopefully not.
That
Hopefully
came
not.
ahead of time. Okay? If a being is that big and does a fart, it's just a giant cloud, all right? Yeah. It's very realistic.
So while this is going on, you may even see my tweet in there where I say, so what's the surprise? There's going to be a surprise. We know there's going to be a surprise.
So sweet. In fact, it all of a sudden it makes sense. A certain character died halfway through an excellent show, and the show never quite recovered for it. There may have been a master plan behind this.
So Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Fucking genius.
That is
so exciting.
He's a fantastic actor. And the story, I got very, very paraphrased here, but did you read the story of what he did? After that, he walked to Kevin Feige and said, "So when am I Blade?" He basically walked up and said, "So I'm gonna play Blade now, right?" And they're like,
"I'm gonna play Blade
okay,
now.
Right? Sure." So
I loved how they announced it too. They had him come out. They go, here's this gentleman, and then Feige was like, and he has a hat, and he puts on the hat that says Blade on it.
Yeah.
So it was brilliant the way they did it,
and that's really cool. And again, I'm sure they're gonna they're gonna run Blade PG-13.
No, please no,
just go R.
Dude, that Blade movie that came out in the 90s, dude, I've never seen any other movie that many times in the theaters.
The first two
movie.
The first two are great.
I
think
love
they
that movie.
Yeah, they're really fun
too.
Yeah,
that Blade is one of my favorite two news items from this whole weekend. Blade is one of my two favorites.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, because I think we knew all this other stuff was coming, and Eternals is kind of like a And Shang-Chi, you're like, okay, there's potential. Blade is this like, oh, we're going back to like the start, and this is really the first time, other than Hulk, this is the first time they've
well, the Blades were not part of the MCU.
No. But I mean, Hulk wasn't, Blade wasn't, Spider-Man wasn't, but that's still Sony, so that's still kind of a technicality. There isn't a Fantastic Four movie yet, so the rest of the movies were all like just whole cloth MCU. They were not something that existed prior in a format. Am I missing? I mean,
they had Daredevil and Punisher.
No, movies.
Yeah,
you had the
Daredevil and Punisher movies.
No, the
Fox.
MCU movies.
Oh, okay.
But I mean the Cap movies from like the 70s and 80s. I mean, but yeah, there wasn't Thor movies before. There were no Avengers movies. There was no.
Well, if you ask me,
Iron Man.
He was with Daredevil.
Well,
no, he was with the Hulk.
Yes, the Hulk. So, yeah, and he's such a great actor, and
that was such a Steve Jobs and one more thing.
Oh, you have to do that, though.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
And tears down the house.
Yeah. No. So that's big news. That was Saturday, so that's Saturday night.
I am so excited for that. That's my number one, and Love and Rockets is my number 2 right now.
What?
Love and Rockets.
What?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Whoa, hold on. Like my radar just went like
Kevin
a full
just
mass.
missed something, and he's like,
Kevin was like, "Wait, what did I miss at this convention?"
Yeah.
He's thinking comic books. I'm thinking music. Scott's like,
I'm thinking of this is what you do with your girlfriend. You push her head under the bed, and then you put the covers down, and you have love.
Why are we?
That's the fart that goes on underneath.
Oh God, why are we talking farts?
That's the
Jesus.
Why?
Just what it is.
Oh no.
Is this because we brought up Jay and Silent Bob the reboot?
Yep.
Oh, you have to see that trailer, man.
So Sunday morning.
Yeah, so let me. So I wake up because I have shit to do, right?
Well, what time are you getting up?
Well, I overslept because I had a few drinks the night before. So I really wanted to go really early, but that
because
didn't.
Toby lost
Toby
them.
comes wandering in, and he's like, I think he's asleep. I think he's sleeping.
Who are you talking to?
Someone that came with me.
His friend.
Yeah, I had to give him some stuff, and he was giving me some stuff.
God, this sounds
They're
bad.
trading pop figures. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's what they're calling it now.
It was pins,
Pins.
man.
Sorry, pins.
He was
Pins,
wearing
not pops,
he was
pins.
wearing a sweaty Batman shirt and had a bunch of pops.
Yeah.
God, no.
Yeah, so I'm done drinking whatever it is, and the dude was like, "Hey man, I'm still up." I'm like, "I'm still up. Let's exchange our shit right now." So I'm like, "All right."
What time is it?
I don't know.
It's like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, like,
or something
I go
like
into
that.
the room and that's pitch black. I'm like, I think he's sleeping. Be quiet.
Yeah, it's 2
You want to hear that? You want to hear
Who
the
the fuck sleeps at 2 a.m.?
You want to hear the most
Normal
white
fucking
thing I'll ever
people?
say to Toby? I left that bathroom light on so you could see when you came in, Toby. That's why that light was on.
I did not hear that. But
Because he was sleeping.
yeah, you were sleeping in the dark too.
was.
Ryan sleeps in the complete dark, man. I can't do
I
that.
have to. Wait,
Hotel rooms
Yeah.
are so great that way.
No,
it's
you have
black
the blinds are completely. I like to sleep with the blinds completely open, so I wake up the minute the sun rays.
maniac.
You don't get as
No.
much. You don't get as good a sleep.
Oh, I get plenty of good sleep,
No,
man.
you do not.
Oh yeah,
That
I
is
had more
false.
sleep than I ever had at this con I ever had in my fucking life.
Yeah, because
Like that,
you
like
went with Ryan.
4 hours,
Yeah.
3 hours,
Yeah.
5 hours.
It did. Anyways, so
This is why he's on the podcast
Look.
today. Normally he's not.
yeah, it's true. And plus, I slept the entire yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a good night, and then Sunday morning I had to pack. I'm like, fuck, I have to wake up early, and I'm like, I was gonna go to the con super early, right? So I start doing my shit. I'm trying to be quiet, and Ryan goes, "No, it's all right, man. You can make noise. I'm up." I'm like, "You sure?" And I continue on.
What time is this?
And I don't know the fuck.
6?
No. Let me tell the story.
Well, hold on. Because something actually got announced before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up. Here's my events, course of events, okay? Toby's making noise, but he didn't wake me up, right?
He totally woke you up.
7 o'clock, my eyes open. I kind of look over. I'm like, hey, Toby, I'm awake. Do whatever you're doing. I roll to my right. I see my phone. I pick up my phone. I open Twitter. I hit reload. Tom King, Mitch Gerads.
Oh, yeah.
And
They dropped that late Saturday.
and Doc Shanner on
Strange Ventures.
Adam Strange.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm all in.
I literally,
I'm so all in.
I hit it's like my eyes opened. I looked at my phone. I refreshed, and it was announced.
And then he
like
slapped himself to make sure he was still,
I woke up.
You were.
This news woke me up. Twitter was calling to me to check.
Fucking Twitter. So, anyways, I'm in the shower and I hear, "Holy fuck!" And then I come out. I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "Read," and I was, "Holy shit!" And at that point, I think someone's knocking on the door, and it was not Kevin. I think we just said too many F words.
We
at
had
that
some
point.
neighbors that were like,
Can you please stop swearing?
Shut up.
Because I was like,
at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Did you show them the tweet?
Yeah.
And make them read it?
Not
Can
the
you
tweet.
believe this?
Not the tweet.
Can you believe this?
Open the door. Read
so
this.
Ryan is like half shaken. He goes, "Well, I'm canceling everything I'm doing today."
So here's my plan.
Because-
Here's my plan. I have a flight out from San Diego. I'm leaving early, right?
Right.
I was going to go to the convention until about 11:30, take an Uber back to the hotel, grab my bag, fly out, fly to San Jose, right? Then I get a message. Hey, Ryan, what are you doing at 11:15? Do you want to moderate Scott Snyder's Spotlight panel?
And you're
At
like,
Comic-Con.
and you're like, Yeah.
And I'm staring at this going,
what do you think?
11:15. I was going to leave at 11:30. I have to get to the airport.
Southwest flight. You can just rearrange that.
It's 12:15. 12:15. At 12:15, if I jump in the Uber, if I get out of there by 12:25 and I jump in the Uber, it's a 10 minute. It's like a 5-minute ride back to the hotel. 12:25, 12:30. Okay, if I come to grab my bag,
Toby,
if I check out right away at 12:30,
real time?
12:35, I can have my bag and be to the airport. If it's not charged, like my brain's going a million miles an hour.
This is Ryan
trying to solve this problem.
He tries to solve the problem. I would just say yes.
Yeah, I'm like yes.
But this happens in a course of seconds.
Yeah.
This is seconds pass. And I'm like,
your processor does not work that fast.
Yes. I can.
See, I would not even thought about it. I would just said yes and figured all that shit afterwards. So I'm like, okay.
So the original plan when we went to bed was I was going to come over.
I forgot you're in the room.
He's at a different place.
I'm in a different neighborhood.
Okay.
I'm supposed to come over and meet him, and we were going to go to the con and get there right when it opened. And he messages Ryan, I'm pointing to, messages me and goes, change of plan for today, puts like a big smiley face, and then says, come over and you can drop your stuff come up to the room to gather all the stuff because I had left some stuff in the room.
But we have to check out now.
But the way it's threaded, I only saw the balloon that says, the last one that says, just come to the room to get your stuff. So I'm just like, la-di-da, going up thinking that we're doing the same plan. Because I have no idea anything's changed. I walk in, and that's when he's like, just holds a phone out to my face.
I'm modding.
I have something to add because Kevin reads this fucking thing on Ryan's phone and then follows it up like, who is it?
Because I didn't know who it was from.
Oh.
Yeah.
It just said about, would you be interested in moderating my panel?
And you're like, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Big deal. Whose panel is it?
So we go down and get food.
Hummingbird.
Toby runs out to get to his panel, and I wasn't sure what the whole setup was going to be. They were talking about having to set up like a laptop to do some stuff. So I was like me and Toby can figure this out. Like we'll get there early and maybe go back and set it up. They actually ended up having DC ran it and had everything already set up, so they didn't need anything extra. So I think I told you guys this. I'm not even sure. So we go out. And Toby goes to get in his line to go. You tried for the Mattel line again, right? I think you went back.
No, I just went to look at it.
There's one other insert into the chronology here. Toby had left. Ryan and I are walking. We went to Dunkin' Donuts or something. We're walking to the convention center. And Ryan just casually says, blah, 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 something about Adam Strange.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not reading Twitter at 6 a.m.
Show him the tweet. Read it.
He's like, I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, Tom and Mitch. I'm like, what? Oh, Doc Shaner. What? Wait.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah, stop everything else.
Yeah.
Freeze in place on this sidewalk and tell me exactly what I have missed, because that and Blade are the two.
Yeah.
That's the best news of the con.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Yeah, because Mitch had tweeted that
the day prior
on the Eisners, he's like, we have an announcement, and whether or not we win or not, we're just going to announce something.
Well, when we were at the signing on Saturday, they said something just we were at the thing getting it approved. That's why we were late coming back here. They're going to announce it sometime in the next day. So, but they couldn't tell us what it was, but they knew. When we left after that signing, so about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, a little bit later, he tweeted the picture of Mr. Miracle wearing the Adam Strange T-shirt. Right. Yeah. So everyone in the replies was like, So Kevin's like, okay, I'm going to go into the convention to get my stuff. He goes left. I go right. I take 10 steps, walk directly into Scott Snyder. He is fucking hauling ass because he's like, I'm super late. I had a thing. I have to go this way. Walk with me. And so I'm just like, so what's going on? It was your Dan Didio walk, Kevin, right? It's the same thing, right? Where he is like hauling ass through the not the convention center, but outside the center, just through groups of people. A couple of people were like, hey, we're walking by.
Hey, that's
so everyone knows DC dropped it at 7 a.m. on Sunday.
Yeah, 7 a.m. I woke up at 7 a.m. and just grabbed my phone and looked.
7:01.
Yeah.
So you hit it at 7:01. That's when it dropped.
It's really wrong that you went to Twitter when you woke up. I mean,
I sensed it. That's why I checked it.
Oh, Ryan has a special thing with Twitter, man.
So
yes. some kind of Twitter.
He's like, I gotta go to this hotel, but then meet me back there for the panel. We'll get everything figured out and set up. I'm like, cool. Where are we going? We walked into the hotel, and I'm like, oh, there's Robert Kirkman and Josh Williamson, and they're like, we're having breakfast, and I'm like, okay, you guys are talking work. I'll let you do your thing. You guys are working. I'm gonna go that way.
So this is where Chris showed up, right?
What's that?
This is where Chris from Newsarama showed up?
Oh, no. He was at the panel.
Him a lot.
Yeah, he was at the panel. I was like, oh, hello, Robert Kirkman. I'm going to go this way now that you're where you need to be. So we'll talk this. So we get up to the booth. They were doing the Dan Didio's morning talk, the Sunday talk, which I always like that.
Yeah,
so I got to catch most of that panel.
That's where so before you came in, you'll appreciate this, Scott. Before Dan was on the floor with a hand mic, and then the other people from DC were up on the dais. And Dan's like, somebody tell us like an early comics memory that you have, like one of the earliest you can remember. And he's just like having people. And so I said, Superman versus Spider-Man, that first Treasury.
Oh, that was so fun.
And I see up on the stage Robert Venditti's like brow furrows, and he turns to Tom King and like says something, and King's like shrugs. I'm like, do those guys not know that that's a comic? And so I went up afterwards. I pulled it up on my phone, and I go up to Venditti, and I'm like, just so you know that this is like a real comic, like here, because he was admitted he wasn't a comics fan as a kid.
Okay.
He didn't know that was a thing.
Really?
And then King is just hanging out, and I went up to him, and he recognized me from the other things. I'm like, tell me you knew this was a real thing. And he goes, oh, yeah, I knew. He goes, Venditti turned to me and he goes, how would that even be a fight? And I was shrugging. I wasn't shrugging because I didn't know what it was. I was shrugging to think of a way of how that would be a fight.
That's great.
Tom didn't have his Superman action figure and Spider-Man action to play it out.
So they basically pull me back, the publicist and the AV people were like, all right, here's what Scott sent us. Here's the order. Hit it however you want. Go through this. Keep them on track. No spoilers. We're not announcing anything. It's DC is running it. It's mostly about DC. There's a little bit of Image at the end. He wants to do some Q&A. How are you guys going to go up and do this? They need to know. They need your name. We need to print you up a placard. They printed me a placard, and then they took that placard away the second the panel was over. And
never got it?
You didn't get it?
I think someone stole that motherfucker.
No, the guy... Like, the panel ended, the guy's just like, everything gone.
You're like,
because they have like 10 minutes to set up for the next panel, right? I didn't even have a chance, right? So I'm just like,
Ryan should have taken it.
So they're just like,
through.
bam, 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 hitting me with all this stuff, and I'm like, okay. I think I can do this.
I also heard him behind the curtain going, I do a podcast.
Did I say that? Yeah, you did.
You're like, I can do this. I moderate some assholes on a podcast.
They were talking about the microphone. They were like, have you used a microphone? You have to. I was like, oh, yeah, we do a podcast. I know.
Yeah, because all I heard was like... And then all of a sudden, Ryan's voice, I do a podcast.
I'm kind of a big deal.
No,
I do a podcast that about 400 people listen to.
No, they were talking about the microphone. They were like, oh, you got to stay like kind of...
Do you know how to hang loose, baby?
Yeah, that's what I said. I did the same thing. I'm like, yeah, it's like this. So I'm like, well, I'll go up and I'll introduce Scott and get the crowd up and everyone, he could come running out and everything like that.
But that's not what happened.
And so we're standing there, and one of the heads of Comic-Con standing there, and he introduces himself to me and Scott, and I
what was his name?
Haven't a clue.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, actually, I'm going to introduce Scott and the panel and everything like that, because we have to make like an announcement before the panel starts and everything, and we're like, okay, that's fine. So we get up there and we both sit down at the thing, and he comes out and he's like, oh, hey, this is a panel for Scott Snyder, blah, blah, blah. It's a spotlight panel talking about history. But before that begins, we have to give Scott Snyder this very special award, the Inkpot Award. Now, the Inkpot is Comic-Con. They give it like a Lifetime Achievement Award, kind of. It's someone at the convention that's been a huge kind of boon to the industry, and is like, again, think Lifetime Achievement. So they gave it to two people that day. They gave it to Jonathan Hickman and Scott Snyder. And so neither of us have any idea this is going to happen, right? This is a big deal for Comic-Con. So Kevin, you guys can probably tell me what happened during that panel.
Oh, you were the most awkward person ever because you didn't know where to stand. You were like, I get up, and you bowed in front of.
He did not.
He did one of these. He did like.
No.
You did.
No. For the whole panel, you guys can probably tell me more what happened because I'm up there, like, kind of just aimed at Scott, sort of listening to him. But for that, what happened was they bring out the award, and there's this almost like this, like. Kind of not a silence, but there was like a heartbeat.
Oh God!
I know what
I
know what Toby's. Ryan's like gesturing for the crowd to clap.
So
he's like doing.
Well,
this.
there's like
He has seriously. So somebody got this on video and posted it on the internet.
No, there's like a heartbeat because Scott doesn't say anything because he's legitimately stunned.
Yeah, he's
right?
stunned, right?
And so I stand up and I start to clap,
like,
and I go to the audience and I'm like, "Come on!" But everyone stands up and gives him a standing ovation. No, but that's
it was
Ryan up there giving him
great.
this awkward wave, like
It was great.
no. I'm
it was
like
fantastic.
What's also great is then they sit down and start a panel. And nobody ever introduced Ryan, Scott introduces Ryan.
Well, Scott just goes.
Yeah, but
and
then I think he figures out he never introduced you. So he goes, "This is my friend Ryan."
Well, this was the thing where when I was talking to the guys at DC, it was a little bit like we got to kind of go from thing to thing because Scott could just talk for an hour straight.
I was going to say,
and you got to wrangle him a little bit.
If you do Comic Con, you do Comic Con right, and Ryan fucking does Comic Con right? Goes on fucking stage, does a fucking panel. And I have to say, though, out of all the panels to do, he gets Scott Snyder. It's probably the best first panel to do because you say one word and Scott just goes.
Rolls.
You say another word, Scott goes on for another 20 minutes.
So they're like prepping us. So we see a screen in front of us that's at the front row of the audience.
I was actually wondering how the pictures were matching up.
So we see the AV person's screen.
Yeah.
And they're queuing up panels, so they're doing it in a chronological order.
There's footage of you online.
Yeah, there is. There's a bunch. So they're queuing up footage online. They're queuing up the panels.
Any better.
And then we reference that, and then they kick it live.
Oh,
at that
I
point.
see. I was wondering how that was matching up.
Yeah, so that's what they said. They said when you see it online,
Yes, Megan on Twitter. Thank you for that footage
because they wanted to talk about like there was a point where we were going on pretty long. I think about Man Who Laughs, and they wanted to, and like all of a sudden the screen on our end changed to You're the Villain and the Infected stuff because that was one of the points. They're like, we really want to talk about Infected because that's the thing coming up, spinning out of Justice League.
Sure.
And we're still talking, and you see the screen behind us just flash to the next topic. Like,
you missed it.
No, like, and now let's move on to the next topic.
So you have to wait for a pause before you jump in.
And I'm doing this every 5 minutes, every couple of minutes. I'm like, look down, touch my phone, look at the time. Okay, we got enough time. And when we started the image thing, I knew I was like, and we're going to do questions in a few minutes if you guys want to line up. And that kind of forced Scott to sort of get to those questions a little bit faster. Because, again, he could have talked about New 52 for 3 hours, let alone everything else.
Yeah.
Right?
You did good, man. You did good.
I basically blacked out. I have no clue what happened during the entire thing.
What I imagine this being like is Will Ferrell in Old School when they're doing the test at the end, and he blurts out all the answers and then just goes and then drops to the ground and just dies. And
it was very much just like a fucking whirlwind, and it was just over. And then I'm like, I run out the back door. There's like 40 people standing out the back door. A bunch of them like, hey, great panel. The listener came up and and he came up after the thing, and then I saw him back outside.
Yeah, he also thought he meant Brock.
Oh, yeah. He saw he met Kevin, but he thought I had said Brock, so he thought Kevin was you.
So false. You do not have a red pony.
So I have to
shave your beard.
I have to say, like, besides yelling at Scott from far away, saying, I'm trying to set up this fight for Greg Capullo and Bryce, thinking I'm a crazy person, and only listening to my horrible voice on a podcast. And trying to butt in on his signing there, but totally no chance. I was like, I'm finally gonna meet this motherfucker. It's finally time, right? Didn't get to meet him before. And then afterwards, I see Ryan on stage taking pictures, doing all the celebrity things, shaking hands.
You still didn't get
He comes down, and I'm like, I think Ryan's gone. And there's no way I get to go near Scott.
Because when beforehand, again, I was there.
You buffaloed Toby.
I was there for a while. Bamboozled. I was an hour late leaving. Right.
Oh, that's right. You had to leave.
I had an airplane. Yeah. So I basically the panel wraps, and I'm kind of like, okay, I can make this. I can find. And they're like, oh, can you guys come up? We want to take pictures for the convention with the ink pot and all that.
Yeah.
And then they took pictures of Scott, so I step out of the way, and they're taking pictures of Scott. And then we go back down, and they're like, oh, thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like talking. I'm like, this is really cool. I really don't want to run out of here, but I don't have a choice. And I get outside, and there's like 40 people there. I'm talking to some of the people. I'm like, that was super cool. That was super amazing. I can't believe I got to do this. This is totally random. I have to catch a plane right fucking now. And I was just like, just hauled ass out of there as fast as I could.
Some poor listener of ours is out there going, man, I just wanted to meet him.
No, I felt terrible, but I was just like, this is
the funniest part is you've done that drive so many times from down there up here. Like, you could have just said, fuck the plane, I'll just drive home.
Oh, drive home from Comic-Con on fucking no.
See, here comes the complaining again.
No. Non-refundable $200 ticket. I'm not. Come on, son.
Did you fly Southwest?
What bullshit? Bullshit.
Listen.
I call bullshit on you right now.
That was the more expensive ticket. I probably could have refunded.
No, in fact, you can even do the cheaper one. You could got your money back.
No.
It's Southwest, motherfucker.
Southwest, you can apply your ticket to any other ticket at any time with no charge.
I didn't want to miss my plane. Okay.
Full amount.
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss my plane.
He just wanted to leave us. He was
I was set.
He didn't want you to meet Scott Snyder.
He was like, I'm on stage. I did all I could. I'm never going to top this. I'm out of here.
You kids, get off my lawn. I got to get out of here.
So,
congrats, Ryan.
Thank you.
Very cool.
I have no idea what happened.
Well, that was the last we saw of Ryan at Comic-Con.
I hope there's video of it, because I didn't.
The next, I got a text going, I've been waiting at the airport for an hour. I guess I could have stayed longer.
No.
Yeah,
it wasn't an hour. It wasn't an hour.
A half hour.
I got there. I got their security. I had a little bite to eat because I was pretty fucking hungry at that point, and I think I sat around for maybe half an hour. I had some buffer, which was good.
Look at Ryan. I'm such a star. I just don't know how long,
I had some buffer.
I was on a panel.
I had some buffer.
I was on a
which is good because I usually
Comic-Con.
That's why I have that buffer.
How many of you fools?
When I go,
okay, we were both wrong.
What did I say? 45 minutes.
Okay, we were both wrong.
45 minutes may include
said
security. And
lots
food.
of laughs. We got from the con to the hotel and then airport in 20 minutes.
LOL?
Wait for
LOL?
Yeah.
LOL does not mean lots of laughs.
It doesn't?
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
Okay, well, I always thought it was lots of laughs.
Nice. You learned something
I thought Ryan actually typed lots of laughs. That would have been even better.
I love that you thought that LOL
he had
was
time
lots
to
of
type
laughs.
lots of laughs.
Doesn't it make sense,
I thought you were referring.
It makes all the sense in the
Toby was
world.
saying you were referring to the Snyder panel as lots of laughs.
No, let me continue.
Wow, I really like that
20
about
minutes.
you, Toby. That is fantastic.
Zero wait for security. I could have hung out for like 45 more minutes.
There you go. Yeah, if I like the way I was, because traffic, security, checkout, like you just don't know, right?
know.
And I always want that buffer. I hate rushing through the airport. So
He's so the opposite of me because I will push it to the last possible. I remember for work once I had to go.
Motherfuckers, wait for me! I'm running.
No. This is what.
TSA
This is the only. This is the only
the pre-check
one.
line was longer. The pre-check line was longer.
Did you have clear?
No.
Dude, this is the only time I actually got scared. So for some reason, I misjudged the time, and I set the alarm for way later. I get a phone call in the morning from my coworker going, "Hey man, what's up, bud?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" "Hey, I'm at the airport. Where are you at?" I'm like, "At the airport? Why the fuck are you at the airport already?" It's like,
What time is it? Oh no!
No. I put two and two together. Go. Oh shit, I'm like about 2 hours behind where I'm supposed to be. So I'm like the fastest putting on everything, get my back, get the fucking lift.
Your stinky ass gets around the plane?
Dude, I made it. I made it. Yeah. But the time he called me, I should have been there for an hour already.
All right,
at that
let's
point.
talk more about Comic-Con. So Ryan's gone, so now you guys, it's time to party.
Oh, now it's party time, man. So when Ryan goes,
What happens? What's going on?
Party at 2:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah, I ran into Greg Capullo at that point, and then no, kidding. Sorry.
And I had an arm wrestling.
Yeah.
What is this?
Sunday.
Sunday.
No, I know
2
that.
o'clock.
I'm thinking of what's Oh, it was DC
you
trivia.
ran off.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, where's the trivia? When did trivia happen?
Okay.
You built this up beforehand.
So I lose him for quite a few hours. So I see him in the evening, and the first thing I see him, he goes, "Holy shit, man! Let me tell you something."
That's paraphrasing. That's paraphrasing.
So what day is this?
There was holy shits and walls.
Are you serious? What day is this?
It was the DC trivia thing on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Everything is in
You were
Charlie
there.
Cornell
You should know this.
So who was it last year you were with?
Mark Andreyko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This year it was Dan Jurgens.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Oh,
this,
that's a fucking lock right there.
well, they also had Paul Levitz. They also had the guy who runs the DC archives.
Oh, okay.
And
that's bad news. The DC
That nerd-
archives.
that
well,
nerd
so the
knows
whole
his
thing
shit.
is you just can't get one wrong. Is the thing. Okay. So I go up there. I'm like the fifth person in line. I want to say.
What was the question you missed last year?
I didn't miss one last year.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, we won last year, and I just got a dumb prize, and I gave it to a little kid who was there.
All right.
Okay. So the question, I take the Silver Age category.
That's a setup for this year's story
Yes.
battle.
Oh, I take the
See, there you
Silver
go.
Age category, and the question is it's the most ridiculously fucking hard question of that whole game because I stayed to the bitter end to just grind it out and torture myself.
They saw you coming. They knew
This
who
was
you
the
were.
hardest question. It was in such and such Silver Age Superman issue when he goes back like memory regression or something like that to Krypton to meet the Krypton mind projection actress, famous actress from Krypton who like appeared in the movie version of Kryptonian culture or the Kryptonian culture's version of movies. What is that character's name? The actress.
What?
So the way it works is the person on your partner has to answer it, and then you have to either accept their answer or veto it. So Jurgens goes, he's like, "Is it Lorelei?" And I'm like, God damn it, there's so many L's in that fucking Superman history. Right. I'm like, but I don't have a better answer. Like, I'm not sure that he's right, and I'm not sure that he's wrong. And I'm like, part of me's going, I think she has a first name and last name, but if her first name is Lorelei, they'll probably just take that, and we're good. I don't think they would like ding us for not knowing the last name. So I said, I think he's right, and he was wrong, and I was out right then.
No.
So my consolation prize for playing was a Batmobile Hot Wheel, which I just handed back to the prize giver. I just said, you know what? Like,
I don't want this crap.
I didn't say that, but I said somebody, maybe some kid is going to play who would more appreciate this. The people who got correct as it went on, they opened this big box, like I'm holding up my hand maybe 5 feet off the floor, and they were handing out the new set of New Teen Titans statues from Icon Heroes.
Shut up.
The ones that look exactly like the George Perez artwork.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tears.
People were getting these statues, Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, Deathstroke, blah, blah. And then this person is getting like a double figure set. And this person, somebody got a Momoa Aquaman statue.
Did you get all the questions right after that?
I knew everything else. I knew literally everything else.
So you tortured yourself.
Oh, yeah. I stayed till the bitter fucking end. I was not going to miss that.
Oh, that one's really good.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And so the thing is, after
Don't those connect,
you can connect them on the base. It's not that one. It's not that one that you build a scene.
Okay.
These are like bigger. So the thing is, what happens at Comic-Con after all these days is
really nice.
Yeah, thanks. I would have given it a good home. Is you just
You would have not gone, fuck, how am I going to bring these home? God damn it.
I would have dealt with it. For that,
Okay, so it depends on what it is.
Well, because that's in a box protected, untubed art I'm worried about.
I'll take that. That makes sense, actually.
Anyway, so the thing is, what happens after all these long days and nights of little sleep and everything is you just around sometime, usually for me, late Sunday, I just hit the get me the fuck out of here point. You know what I mean?
It?
Well, it was a combination of that and that fucking trivia thing that I was just like, I have to go. I just have to go. I don't have to go home. I just have to get out of this convention center. So I left. Now, I haven't seen Toby for hours at this point. Hours.
That happens at the con.
Yeah. So I walked back to the Hilton. Where were the Eisners? The Hyatt or the Hilton?
Hilton.
The Hilton. I walked back to the Hilton. I just sit down in the bar. I'm just like, I don't even need to drink. I've been drinking all the damn weekend. I don't even need to drink. I just need to be out of the convention center and away from everybody. And there's nobody in the bar. This is like Sunday at 4 o'clock or whatever. It's like almost deserted.
Empty.
And just to briefly say, I had approached a certain artist at a different bar on a different night that we're not going to go into, okay, that I just talked to. So I'm sitting at the bar, just sitting there, and that same artist comes into the Hilton bar right then. And I turn to him and I go, I'm not stalking you from bar to bar, FYI. And he goes, no, I'm following you. He sits down with a drink, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll order a drink then. Then he orders a second drink. I'm like, well, I guess I'll have a second drink then. I guess I'm not done drinking for the weekend. Yeah. And I ended up, so that was the end of my con, was sitting in the empty Hilton bar with a certain comics artist, having my final drinks.
No, damn matter.
John Cassidy.
Yeah, John Cassidy.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Having my, like... I had no desire for booze then. I just wanted to just chill.
Did John Cassidy know the answer to that?
I did not bring that up. And then
I think our listeners need to know what
do you know what the answer
to that question.
Yes, because they tell you the answer if you get it wrong. And it's like L something, like her first and last name is LL.
This sounds like one of those contests Ryan was doing a while.
The Krypton.
Yeah, the Krypton where you're like, I got this, I got this.
Anyway,
what the fuck?
I should have been recording those.
Anyway, I'll just say that was the end of my convention, was drinking at this bar with John Cassidy. I'll turn it over to Toby.
That's a good end.
Yeah, that wasn't a terrible way to end.
I mean, Ryan had an excellent end. You had a good end. I mean, mine was, I did finish up my stuff, and I had dinner with a good old friend. That was it.
Did you go to your pizza place again?
Not that day. I went back to Lolita's, which is my other main spot over there. No, I have a friend who works in animation, so she happened to be down in town, so I met up with her and her family and had some dinner.
That's great.
That was kind of it.
It's good to end kind of.
Yeah.
Not running to the airport like me. I would much rather end.
So I'm pretty
casually.
I'm pretty sure while I'm having dinner, and after dinner go have ice cream, and I'm walking around. Kevin is probably sweating at some hotel, going, where the fuck is Toby?
I was sitting in the lobby of their hotel. Our flight got delayed. So we were more than fine on time.
Yeah. But I took my time. But there's a few times that disappeared. One of those times was, I think, on Friday, where I spent the entire day at the Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That was Thursday.
That was Thursday?
Before I got there.
That was my first morning.
Oh, that was Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it was. I went straight in that line.
Yeah.
So there were 3 different things that were going on there. There was
boys.
The Expanse, The Boys, and Carnival Row. Going in, I knew The Boys was my main one I wanted to see, which might have been the mistake. I should have probably done the main one first, because I kind of went with Carnival Row as I have no clue what this is, and I'm going to do that one first, and then Expanse second, because I had the longest line. But it was actually really kind of cool. It was an immersive experience where they, again, hire actors and you actually go in and they talk to you and a little scene happens and it's basically give you a taste of the show. So on the Carnival Row one, they basically give you these cards announcing if you're a creature or if you're a human. So it was a creature, which is, you look kind of basically lower class. It's kind of like X-Men, humans versus mutant kind of thing. So there was a British cop checking you in, and he basically go, "Hey, creature, you over here, you fucking dirtbag." And then he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, these fucking creatures, man. Sometimes they just get so rowdy, right?" So they were. I mean, it was awesome. You go in, and we go into this club where the creatures are at, and they dance, and all of a sudden there's like one creature runs in, and she's like, "Hide me," and then there were cops coming and raid the place, and then basically like arrest people and then tell you to get out of the fucking club, and that's when you leave the scene and then you're back in normal stuff. But I had no interest in that show before.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious now just because of that experience. They did their job. They did their job.
Yeah.
The next one I did was The Expanse, and that was the longest line of them all, and that was cool. I may have missed something in the story.
Who was it during the Eisners that freaked out because the guy from The Expanse was giving out the award? I remember who that was.
Oh, it was one of the indie creators.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It was funny because the two that were
the Reno 911 guys.
Yeah, they were talking about it, and they were like, kept going, he's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Forget about the Expanse. Do everything else Ra's al Ghul. Right? So it was a nice setup. I may have missed something in the storyline there. Didn't quite fully get it, but so you go in this corridor, you have to go on this mission on this planet. They open the thing up, you're at this planet, there's like these people that you have to talk to. You have to like at some point go find these boxes you have to put together. I think maybe we didn't find everything, and all of a sudden something goes awry, and they go, you have to go, and you run out. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I go into the boys one, which was the one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm very, very attached to the boys. I may have told this story before. At Isotope, I was, having drinks. And
Isotope Comics in San Francisco.
Yes, that Isotope at the toilets, okay? Derek Robertson was, there having drinks.
Artist of the boys. He was having a few drinks. I probably had a few drinks. He looked at me, I looked at him. Nothing weird happened there. He just said, hey, man, come sit down. I'm like, all right, I'll sit down. And he goes, let me tell you about the boys. I'm like, all right, this is still not getting weird, hopefully. Months before the book was announced.
Really? This is way, way, way before the book comes out. And he goes, yeah, dude, let me tell you the story. He starts opening this giant portfolio of all original art.
Really?
And it's like the first couple issues in original art form. And then maybe some pages are missing.
Yeah.
But he goes on and tells me the story of the boys' first issue.
Were you like, I'm in?
I was so in. The way he was telling me the story, he was so excited about this book, man. He was like, yeah, man, the soups are fucked up to do all this shit, and this is guy that got fucked, and look at this, here's the butcher. The butcher has his dog fucked his other dog. I'm like, I'm done. I'm in, man. It doesn't matter what this book is.
You were sold after the dog fucking.
I'm so in this book. He then turned around and drew a couple of boys things for me, so I have artwork from way before the book came out.
Wow.
I was in. And it's crazy to go from that story to they're making a fucking show, right? Yeah. So anyways, I'm like, I'm so doing this experience. And that was the one where we go in and there's a car crash, and the storyline was kind of like, you have to like cover the shit up. So basically you had to first find the evidence, and like, oh shit, it's actually one of our guys. Dude, we have to like make the shit go away. So you had to find like this tape, you had to unlock this fucking lock, you got the tape, like, oh, we gotta destroy it. And literally you had to like jump on it, fuck it up, rip the shit off. And then we chanted fuck the soups, and then eventually it's like, all right, see you guys next time. It was kind of cool. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. What
time did you do this? Give me a time of day.
This is the entire day because it was a lot of waiting.
10 to 5:30 or something.
A lot of waiting.
Is this on Wednesday?
It was Thursday. In the blistering sun. So these two guys probably would have long gone.
It's like an oven out there.
These guys would have disappointed, not put up with the shit.
It's just so hot.
Yeah. So luckily they were not with me, so I did not hear any of the complaining.
Right.
So
I wanted to go to the Batman pop-up thing, but a lot of that I think I've already seen from the Warner Brothers tour. I think it's a lot of the same stuff.
I wanted to do that because I had the Batman experience, which I kind of wanted to see what it was.
Yeah, because Batman was being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You and Scott doing this thing kind of threw that a lot out the window. I had to go see Ryan doing his first Comic-Con panel. The other thing I really want to do is supposedly there was a immersive experience for Pennyworth. Yeah. While I'm not really keen of watching the show as of now, but a full immersive experience I'm always in for. Yeah. So if anybody went to that, I'm actually kind of curious how that went.
Yeah.
And the last thing I really wanted to do was the Watchmen. I think
that was pretty quick. It was just that you go in, get the photo.
So my interest kind of went down for that, but the other thing I really want to do was go throw some axe at the Viking booth. So, but Ryan obviously didn't want to do that because that's too crazy for him. So I decided not to do it. Yeah, too much. No axe throwing at Comic-Con.
Sharp. He might hurt himself.
I saw...
Momo, I'd be totally in for it. He would down a beer and throw his axe, but Ryan, no.
No, not so
much.
So
I saw
far away from that.
I saw the Cannery Row experience. Somebody went through...
Carnival
Row experience. Somebody went through with I think it was Variety or something went through. So they've been, like, putting videos out of these things.
Yeah.
So you might be able to check out a couple of those. Yeah. Because somebody did one of their walkthrough through the Detective Pikachu.
Oh, I saw that was there, but I don't know where it was. Yeah, I never saw it.
It was apparently near Shazam.
which I also
never saw. Never figured out where it was.
I think we walked past it, and I didn't...
4 times. I'm like, is this it? No, it's not it. That's not it.
Because it just looked like a little car. I thought it was something more. So I'm totally fine that we passed that.
Oh, you had a fucking excellent con, man. Of course you were going to be fine.
We got some questions, a lot of stuff about Comic-Con, so I want to go through a few of these. We can answer a few of those.
How long have we been recording so far?
Don't ask. Darfox8. Darfox8 says, what was your read on the room for the manga awards at the Eisners? Is everybody politely, oh, that's nice, they get awards too? What's the energy and interest level in general?
Hold on. It was kind of like a weird award, though. It was like a translating award.
Well, they had a few different, right? They had.
Did they actually have a manga award, though?
Not for. I mean, it's all translated. This is all English language stuff, right?
But it was like the award was for translating.
But that is what it is. It
I don't know. I was kind of turning to you, going,
it's not for the translation, it's for the translated version of it, because it's not...
Sure.
It's
but then
not...
they also have translation awards, though, on top of that. No? Or did I get that wrong?
I mean, maybe for internet... But I think every time they're doing that, because it could have come out years ago in Asia or in Europe, whatever the international version was. And then we get the American version.
Who gets the award? The translatee, or is it the original dude?
I mean, the people that picked up were the people from the American side of the companies, but they were like, "Oh, we're going to contact the creator, the Japanese creator, and let them know that they won this award." I'm assuming the award goes to them because it's their award, right? Well, there may have been a translation award, but I might have missed that if there was.
There was not many, though.
I think there was really just the one. For manga.
There's a few, or there were a few.
There were a few manga that got nominated for various things, but I think there was only the one like manga award.
Which is a little weird.
Yeah, and it went to some kind of very quirky thing.
But I'm also sure, like, over in Asia,
they have their own.
Winning the Eisners probably doesn't mean a whole lot.
It's probably
they have their own awards that they actually care about a little bit more on.
But no, I mean, some of the big stuff, like I said, I think after a while, people are like, yeah, Tom King won again, or whatever. And then, like, they mentioned there was some. I mean, we had a ton of librarians sitting behind us. I don't know if you guys really caught that.
Yeah.
Every time
were they telling go shh?
No, because
they were
losing their mind.
The one girl was kind of like thanking them at one point. They were really excited.
But there was some of the more obscure books and the kind of quirkier stuff would get huge reactions from the crowd, and it was like, it's Batman, right? But the Eisner crowd,
First Second had a huge following there.
Yeah, a lot of First Second's been a huge company for the small for the indie comics and the graphic novels. Yeah,
I think it was majority was DC, Image, and First Second.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff.
Did Dragon Hoops come out tomorrow? Did you get it?
Dragon Hoops? I don't know. I don't think so.
I want that right away.
It's from Cyclops on Twitter. It says, I've been reading a lot of comments saying that Marvel is scraping the bottom of the barrel with the next phase of movies and Disney Plus shows and believe this is the beginning of the end of the MCU.
Is he saying that?
No, he's saying it. He read this.
Those guys are smoking some crap.
He said, I cannot disagree more.
Oh, there you go. All right, good man.
Iron Man was not a popular character until he had a movie. And I believe Marvel could do the same thing with the next phase and make this character popular. What are your thoughts? I'm not saying you're watching YouTube specifically, but a lot of these people, you only get clicks when you hate something. You're making a funny face on the YouTube video, a still image.
I do have to say, the normals do not understand Jane Foster Thor just yet.
They don't have to.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying they're not as excited because they have no idea, right? There's quite a few normals that came to go, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, don't worry. Based on Jason Aaron's run, it's going to be a fucking thing. Yeah, so I was to be honest with you, I think it's... Look, I know you, Ryan, want a real Thor movie, but in a modern sense of way, this makes sense to go this way.
Yeah.
It's going to be fresh. It's going to be a new direction.
Well, and a lot of the complaints about the MCU from the other part of the world is it's a bunch of straight white men characters, male characters. They were now going out with women and gay and lesbian characters, Asian, black, not white, not just mostly white cast. And this is actually very accurate to Marvel in general, which for the majority of the 60s and 70s, and parts of the 70s, was a lot the Avengers were all white. The X-Men are all white. These characters are all white. As you got into the 70s and 80s, Marvel really...
the 70s, the boom with Luke Cage, and Shang-Chi, and all that. That was the 70s.
Yeah, they expanded dramatically. You had Black Panther as kind of this almost token character. I don't think Marvel saw it like that at the time.
Action,
but
maybe.
Looking back, he was sort of the one thing. But then, the 70s exploded, and now,
this guy almost repeating history.
But this is the complaint that, like, the Comicsgate people and the assholes have. So, it's like, if the movie's good, it's good. I don't...
It's like those D-bags with the Snyder cut shit that I had to see.
Oh, jeez. You saw those posters, right?
Yes.
Did you see the plane?
Yes.
I did not see the plane.
I didn't see either of those two things.
So they had to release the Snyder cut for Justice League. I didn't see the plane, but I saw the posters.
Next to those Bible people?
The fucking Bible people in the V for Vendetta costumes, the anti-vaxxers in the V for Vendetta costumes. There is Alan Moore, I think, would have something to say about seeing anti-vaxxers wearing V for Vendetta masks. There is a disconnect there that's pretty shocking from those people. Tor here has maybe kind of something on the opposite end of the spectrum. He says, do you think Marvel is oversaturating the superhero movie genre? There are 7 MCU films coming out in 2021, and I'm getting annoyed at how little actual comic book news comes out of the biggest comic convention. It's all about movies and TV now, and that is sad.
Well, I'm sorry to say Comic-Con is no longer a comic book convention.
Do you know how much
been a long time?
Comic book news doesn't come out of comic book conventions? This is not exclusive to comic books, though. Mm-hmm. The internet and has allowed every industry to announce news on their own term and not trade shows, or a convention like Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, and if you're going to announce comic book news, it gets drowned out. I mean, like, look how many people are actually talking about the Hickman X-Men stuff.
No one, right?
Right? It gets drowned out. Yeah.
I said this years ago, and it's true today. And if you ask Justin from Geekbox, right, who up until recently worked for GameSpot, I bet if you ask anyone that works for these sites, you post one article about comic books, even let's say the X-Men thing, where there's 6 articles posted, right, and each article is one of the 6 books they announced, right? So you're going from page to page to page to page. That will get X views, no pun intended, right? You post a 35 cosplay photo gallery, that gets 100 times more views, 1,000 times more views, 10,000 times more views. It's content. It's what people care about. Mm. The MCU gets content. Gets clicks. Mm. You know, I'm sure people were excited for Adam Strange, but that's not gonna make the head of the headline for USA Today. They don't give a shit about that, right? So Marvel and DC don't need to do a lot of real announcements at Comic-Con. The fact that we got a few things is fine, right? You go to WonderCon, you go to MegaCon, you got all these big conventions. There's no real comic news coming out. There may be bits, little things here and there, because there's always new books coming out. But yeah, that's just not Comic-Con. That's not what it's for anymore. It's just such a different beast than what it's ever been in the past. And to me, that is just not what it's about. So, and as far as, Marvel oversaturating with movies, I mean, fuck. When they start to have failures, I guess we can say they're oversaturating.
Yeah.
They have not had a failure to date. Nothing even remotely close to a failure. Yep. So when we get 4 or 5 movies in a row that underperform from Marvel, we can have this conversation. Until then, it's just...
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, no. Spider-Man is near... Did that break $1 billion yet? Is that coming in close to $1 billion? We're going to have a nice long wait for Black Widow. When Black Widow's out, that's going to... I mean, we're almost a year between MCU movies.
Is that the big wait, that there's nothing till Black Widow?
Nothing till Black Widow, yep.
Well, yeah, Star Wars, right?
But no Marvel movie, right? So that is a big wait. I mean, that is the longest wait we've had in a very long time for a Marvel movie, and that may get...
we just had Endgame and fucking Infinity War.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. It's fine. So this gives people a bit of a breather, but yeah, they're gonna crank this shit out till it stops making $1 billion, which probably is gonna be quite some time. So, Christopher from Emily says, "Hello everyone, but Ryan, this is for you. Did you get asked? Did you get asked who you were when you were moderating the Scott Snyder panel? Well, I mean, They knew who I was. That's
I do a podcast.
I do a podcast. But how much of a buzz did you get?
God, I heard that. I was like, the fuck is happening?
How much of a buzz did you get when you were asked? I was so jealous when I heard. And Toby mentioned it earlier, but I stared at the message in fucking disbelief for like a minute. For a solid minute, I sat there and looked at it and was like, I'm clearly misreading this because this is not what this is asking
Toby's
me
not
to
around
do.
you very often to know when you're like when you need a jump start and you're thinking.
I was like looking at it
I
like
was giggling the entire time. I think I went back to the restroom and I think while I was peeing I started laughing again.
Yeah, we heard you. Yes, we heard you laughing. We heard you laughing. But it was.
But you didn't hear him peeing.
It was an incredible honor. Tim says, "What movies other than those announced and obvious omissions, like Spider-Man and FF, will be added to Marvel's Phase 4? I don't think there is one. I think this is it. Right? I think FF.
That's a ton of fucking movies.
It is.
That's
yeah.
a ton of fucking movies.
What else could they do?
If you look at the phases over the years, they've grown in size.
They have. Yeah. There's been more and more of them. Yeah.
Because Phase 3 had 11.
Was it that many?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like it had.
I mean, maybe Guardians 3 and Doctor Strange, or maybe Guardians 3 and FF and something else like all make it in. What was the other one they were talking about?
Captain Marvel 2.
Oh, Captain Marvel 2 or Black Panther 2. Maybe they are considered Phase 4. I don't know how they really break this stuff down, but I would assume FF is going to be the end of it. That is I think it's a pretty.
That's
good
the best way to end 4 is on 4.
There you go. We have a lot of questions. Some of the stuff is not con related, so I'm going to kind of skip some of these guys. And a lot of these will be actually answered. We got one last question here from Jason. He says, 2 questions. Do you recommend this? And he links to the Eternals comic from, I want to say, like mid-2000s. And the answer is no. There's never been a good Eternals comic, and I can't comment on the Jack Kirby original stuff. Much like a lot of, the more recent Guardians was good, but do I recommend the old stuff for readers? No, probably not. All right, read the more modern stuff, but the older stuff isn't going to really work. The Eternals is a weird concept that Marvel pulls out occasionally. I mean, Kevin, you could probably speak more to the old stuff.
Nobody's going to argue that it's one of Kirby's best comics.
Yeah.
It's just I like it because it's just funky and weird.
Yep.
That Kirby really super blocky art period of the mid 70s.
But how much of that's going to be adapted for the movie? Almost nothing, right?
You couldn't. I think it's going to be more like the Neal Gaiman version.
Yeah.
Which I think we were talking about this at the con, Ryan. When I like the Eternals as a concept, and when I heard like Neal Gaiman's writing the Eternals for Marvel,
yeah,
JRJR,
yeah,
it's like, well, shit, that's going to be a good comic.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just sort of.
It was. I mean, I remember reading it, being super stoked about it, and it was just kind of,
Yeah.
And then
I think this is going to be
issue or something.
This is going to be more like the Eternals in name.
Yeah, but not in story.
Yeah.
Well, he also asks, and to follow up, how about Shang-Chi? It's kind of the same thing. If you want to go back and read a bunch of kind of kooky 70s stuff, who was doing the art on those early ones too?
Mike Zeck got his first art job on that. Yeah, you could look on if you have Marvel Unlimited, you could find those. Just go. You want to look up Master of Kung Fu though.
Yeah.
It's not the book is not called Shang-Chi.
Yeah. But again, on a modern day, he appears in random stories, right? Someone actually asked about Adam Strange too. They're like, "Oh, I want to read this new comic. What other Adam Strange book should I read?" And I kind of go,
the miniseries that Andy Kubert drew or Adam.
The prestige format one?
Kubert.
I know
it's 3 issues prestige format.
Yeah,
that's good.
That was good.
That's good.
But
the old stuff just doesn't hold.
He's a great character that makes cool cameos sometimes,
Yeah.
and is a cool, not want to say blank slate, but a very underdeveloped character that a movie or a TV show or a book like this could do a ton of stuff with. Although it's not Adam Strange, I like what they do with him on Krypton. It's a interesting concept. It's a very different character, but it's
the The Andy Diggle stuff is 8-issue series that led into...
Any of this stuff even collected, though, right? And like Shang-Chi, what's even collected for Shang-Chi? Some Marvel...
Just omnibus.
That's
why I was saying Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
Might be the way to go. Or Comixology. If you don't have Marvel Unlimited, you can still find Master of Kung Fu issues.
Yeah.
Look on DC Universe if you have that for Adam Strange, though.
Yeah.
The Andy Diggle stuff is called Planet Heist. It was collected as a trade paperback, I believe, but good luck finding one in print.
Yeah, I don't think any of that stuff's available.
But that stuff goes into the the
Ranthanagar War?
Ranthanagar, which is tied into the Infinity Crisis.
And I like all that, but I wouldn't read it just standalone.
Standalone. And then it jumps to Countdown to Adventure, which is the stuff they're doing at the background of. But the thing is, I really like that stuff, but that's when I was really enveloped in secondary characters like Animal Man and Starfire's
in 52, but
he's in 52.
Again, it's a segment of a segment.
And then they get
story.
into the Ranthanagar Holy War, which is just kind of and then there was the
Okay, what I would recommend for somebody who doesn't know it, like I was talking to you, Ryan, like one of my favorite Grant Morrison stories is an Adam Strange story that I would absolutely not recommend to a person who doesn't know what Adam Strange is. But it's Richard Bruning is the writer, Andy and Adam Kubert are the artists, and I want to say this thing came out in the late 80s.
70, 87, 88 or something.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
It's 3 issues. Look for that. It's just called Adam Strange.
Oh, and I forgot the JLA 2-parter with
that's 19 and 20.
Yeah, by Mark Waid. Those are fantastic issues.
That's during the Morrison run when it was called JLA.
Yeah.
He pops up at the beginning of World of New Krypton. That Superman 12-issue
in and
mini.
out.
Yeah. But like just like the Zeta Beam.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
like Shang-Chi, right? I don't even know, like he's in random Iron Fist issues. That's kind of maybe the place.
I mean, he hasn't been in much lately.
There was a random like Max series from him like 15 years ago that was nothing.
Yeah.
It is a real it's a character with a ton of potential because there's so little about him out there. There has not been the definitive Shang-Chi run. There has not been the definitive Eternals run. I mean, maybe unless you want to say the Kirby run.
Yeah, the Shang-Chi one was those Marvel premiere issues that were. I don't even remember what. Hey,
I'm super
Kevin, what numbers were the Marvel premiere issues of Master of Kung Fu when it came out?
Was that Butch Geist? Did Butch Geist do some of that stuff
after Iron Fist?
Kevin, did Butch Geist do some of that Master of Kung Fu, or am I thinking of something else?
Okay, I'm picturing Paul Gulacy.
Oh, Paul Gulacy. Sorry, Paul Gulacy. That's who it is. That's who it is. It's good art. It's fantastic art for the time. But it is
the story doesn't hold.
They're 70s comics for kids, kind of. Like trying to go to get on that like
everybody's kung fu fight.
So yeah. I mean, you got to remember the 70s for comics. They're jumping on trends from movies. So there's martial arts. There's horror. There are monsters. There's blaxploitation. That's why if you look at Marvel in the 60s and Marvel in the 70s, like
Marvel in the 70s is fucking bananas.
Like, why is there suddenly a Kung Fu book and an Iron Fist book and Werewolf by Night and the Golem and the Living Mummy and Blade and Black Goliath and how odd that all of these things just appear. I got it correct earlier. It's JLA 20 and 21 are the Adam Strange 2-parter.
So good.
You don't need to read anything else if you're not up on the JLA, but that's a really good story by Mark Waid.
Yeah, this is back in the late 90s. So that's Comic-Con. Boy, I'm tired. I'm still tired. It was a blast, though.
I'm just tired because I had to cover
work. You had to work.
Nobody appreciates that.
Oh, of course I do. I couldn't go to Comic-Con without people working. I always say I need to go to more to the retailer stuff, and this was definitely a big wake-up call that I should go to this stuff more often.
Yeah, no shit, motherfucker. We've been telling this shit to you for years.
It takes him a while.
I don't want to.
I can't go. It's too late.
I think I just turned him off on it. He was into it now. Just said it. He's like, oh, fuck,
retail people.
It's just kid retailers.
I may want to. I did have a couple conversations with retailers. How about like, man, comic retailers are the worst.
Yeah, you retailers are all bad.
Some of it. You guys saw.
Oh, I know them.
You guys saw more than a few that were just like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, come on, asking the dumbest questions.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I
sometimes I have to agree with it.
I'm not gonna.
This is one time.
Are the boxes made of cardboard?
Yeah, I'm not gonna definitively say I'm gonna go back next year.
You had a fucking blast.
Oh, I did. It was great. Yeah, we definitely.
I think we should do it again.
I would like I said.
Oh, see.
I don't know if every year.
I can't do it 2 years in a row.
Expensive and a big commitment, but
so hard.
I would seriously consider going back again next year because we're going to D23 in a couple weeks. I haven't been to WonderCon in years. I would like to go back to WonderCon because I do like Anaheim. So I may try to do this a little bit. Well, no, Leanne can go to Disneyland. I'll go to WonderCon.
You don't want to go to Disneyland?
Sure, if I could split myself in half and do both at the same time, but may start going out a little bit more often. This type of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we are done. That was a ridiculously long podcast.
No, Can I say one thing?
For the love of God.
Shit. Shut
What's
up.
What's up?
I'm just super. So yes, I didn't go. I wasn't on the floor.
Yes.
Right. But they did announce that I'm super stoked for, and I don't care what you guys think, is the Joelle Jones Catwoman wedding dress statue.
Yes.
They showed it. It was thing looks awesome.
Comes out in like a year, but
I don't give a shit. I'm like super stoked.
It's really, really good looking.
Are you going to do a true unboxing, or are you going to open it first and then pretend like it's...
See, I've done, I get shit for this, and I've done it on air.
It's because he did it.
Broken.
It's because he did it.
And the shit's been broken. I've done it.
Exactly,
that's part of the experience.
Point.
No, fuck that. That's the worst.
Oh, you're so wrong about this, dude.
Yeah, he is wrong about
this
that.
This is why I can't watch
part of the experience. If they're busted, they're busted. And you're like, damn it, these guys suck.
We have to thank some good friends. We have lots of good friends at Comic-Con, and we have to thank some good friends for Patreon. Julian Titus.
The No Pants.
The Nerds Without Pants podcast.
Hey, in your honor, I did not wear any pants around Ryan at night.
Sam Shea.
He was sleeping, right?
Craig Anderson at CraigPAnderson.com. And man, I think we got like 8 messages from Craig like, fuck, why am I not there this year? God damn it.
Yeah.
He could have gotten
pissed.
some sleep, too.
He was pissed. Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. Make sure you check out his podcast.
We party with Black Eyed Peas and some Marvel executives.
And Ryan Marling at tiny.cc/ornery Duke. He has a Pokemon unboxing videos on YouTube. He reached out to me and said he's got a couple more subscribers and needs some more for YouTube to get his custom URL.
What kind of
if you want
Pokemon
to
is he unboxing?
The
new
cards.
packs.
The packs.
Oh, the
new
packs.
Unboxing.
Yeah.
And you know what? He doesn't pre-open those packs to check.
Yeah,
He
he opens them straight up.
Right?
Yeah.
I could get in on that.
Yeah, sure. I'll watch that.
Right?
So if you got some kids and
Surrounded
you
by a
want
bunch of asshole
Brock's
haters.
look right now.
Fucking asshole
It's like
haters.
daggers.
So if your kids love Pokemon and you're like, I don't want to go to the store and buy more Pokemon, just show them the video at tiny.cc/orneryduke.
Kids don't care about that.
They don't.
No, they don't.
want to watch
They
it.
love watching the videos. My kids watch this shit and then they never want to buy it.
Yeah, don't even
All
need to buy
these
them.
kids need a fucking life. They need to go out to the woods and go run into each other and beat each other up a little bit. Life would be better.
Please head over to comicspiracypodcast.com, geekbox.net, and Apple Podcasts to find all our previous episodes. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/comicsconspiracy. That's comics with an S. The Comic Conspiracy Podcast at geekbox.net. If you could send some long-form questions, of course, all our Patreon backers. We appreciate all of you at patreon.com/comic-conspiracy if you want to kick us a couple bucks. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our digital storefront. We got about a month left of that thing being up.
When does it stop? The 15th?
About a month. I think it's like August 23rd or something like that.
Oh, it's the end of the month? Okay.
Yeah, towards the end of the month of August. So, unfortunately, we'll be seeing that off, but you can still use it for now. You got about a month left. And, of course,
you can order comics direct.
Our physical comics. If you want to buy comics from us, comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can go. You can also head over to customer.comichub.com, make an account, select our store, and that way you can actually set up a subscription and pre-order stuff through us directly. Comicsconspiracy.biz and comichub.com are 2 separate pages, but they share a similar account, so you can make one, and you should be able to use it at both. The pre-order items are to pre-order items and to purchase items in store on our traditional website. So, and I'm being told that app redesign on Comic Hub
Couple weeks out.
Sooner than we expect.
Couple weeks.
It's been pushed back. They went back to do some redesign, but it is coming out soon.
Nice.
So very excited for that. ConspiratorBrock.com. That's Brock's blog, video pull list, and unboxing videos. You can go check them out over there.
That are cool, despite what these assholes say.
Just saying. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. That's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Lots of good stuff on there. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife Leanne's Etsy store. You can buy some artwork from her. Also, if you're going to be going down to D23 in a couple of weeks, you can see her artwork on display at the Haunted Mansion's 50th anniversary art contest. Little gallery they're going to have there.
She's one of the finalists.
Yep. Top 23. So, again, we know she didn't win, but nice to be a finalist. So that's super cool. Ryan Higgins, that is me. I am on Twitter. You can follow me over there. Brock is Brock Sager. Toby is Toby XI. Scott is CS Shea, SHEA. Kevin is that Kevin Sharp. And the store is Comics Con Store. Mm-hmm. And, of course, check out Geekbox, Comedy Button, Manga Machinations, in the Infinite Binge if you can. Some stuff our friends do. Be nice if you listen to those as well. Thank you guys all very much. I did run into a handful of listeners at the con. It was great meeting people. Always appreciate hearing people that have heard this podcast. And,
Did they take pictures with you?
No, I don't know. I didn't take any pictures.
We need more pictures taken and tagged with @Ryan Higgins.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, if you saw me wandering around and you didn't, just come up and say hi. Like, whatever. Like, a couple of people did, and that was great. So, nice. We do this podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it definitely met a lot of great people through the years. And very happy to go to Comic-Con. I'm excited to head back there maybe next year. We'll see what happens.
Uh-oh.
We are done for this episode. We're going to wrap up. We'll catch everyone next week.